Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling is Cool podcast. I'm Santi, that's Sancho, and Jey Uso is your Intercontinental Champion, and I still can't believe it, Sancho.
I can't believe this is the episode you missed.
I know!
A historical moment, sir. Historical. We're starting off hot here in the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Jey Uso's champion. First thought comes to mind when he finally did it.
Okay, so somebody asked me on Twitter, at what moment did you know he was going to win? I answered, not once. Literally, not once did I think he was going to win. And I think that's why I walked out with goosebumps, with a genuine feeling of shock. Joe Tessitore killed it in that call. Like, it just sounded like a WrestleMania-worthy win, the way that he called it. To me, this was deserved because I think everyone and their mom at this point knows how awesome Jey Uso is. We know that he should have won singles gold long ago. But then you put him against Braun Breaker, a guy that I firmly believe there's no way he's losing. And then in the setup of this, you just kind of figured that Judgment Day would get involved and stop him from winning. So everything was pointing to ain't no way. And even at the very last moment when Jey hits the spear again and the splash after hitting the spear through the barricade, I still didn't think it would count to 3. That was so magical.
There are so many moments in that match you think that the WWE is going to pull the rug underneath you. You think someone's going to push Jey for that second splash. You think a referee's going to get pulled out because they had, if you watch that again, Santi, the angles support that. They support that case. Like, look, the referee's feet are right next to the ropes. Jey is no longer, they're showing Jey just by himself on the top rope. So many moments, but you're right. The complete package, excluding Joe Tessitore's kind of perfect call. And I said that the foundation is there. He has the ability to get hype and growl. And that was like an epic touchdown call that just kept cascading with the perfect amount, the right words. And even after the fact, after the win, and I called it the button where he's like, this guy for the entire life was just considered being a twin. He is a tag team guy only. But now after 14 years, finally captured singles gold. All that stuff, dude, it's going to, you look back on it, when we look at the history books, when it gets played at his Hall of Fame, whatever, it's going to be perfect. You're going to go, mwah, I remember this moment. And one thing I want to say, Santi, is you are not wrong for feeling that Jey Uso is going to lose, because the WWE, not only with him personally, but with other wrestlers, they give him the hype entrance. They give him the, the support of Sami Zayn, like, you're going to get this. They give him the accolades of, like The Miz, explaining, like, here's everything that he's done in the past, and this is what he's going up against. And you're like, oh, dude, every single wrestler who's given the hype entrance, like the DIY, who's given the buddy entrance, like so many others, ends up losing. And I thought that was going to be the whole thing. And you and I both discussed, Santi, Braun Breaker could take an L. We're like, oh, dude, he's young. He could easily take an L.
I just didn't think that he would. That's the difference. I knew he could. I just didn't think that he actually would, because the WWE at this point has like turned us into the Pavlov's dog of seeing Jey Uso almost win the big one. We're like, I know that when Jey Uso goes up there, something's going to happen. And the fact that it didn't happen was just such a special treat because it felt earned. It didn't feel like this out of nowhere swerve, right? It felt like we've been through the trials and tribulations of seeing Jey Uso finally climb to the top of the mountain. And it's just so funny that the WWE has conditioned us to believe that once he's at the top of the mountain, somebody was going to be there to push him off. And I was expecting it the whole time. And the fact that it didn't happen made this one of the most shocking championship changes that I've seen in a really, really long time.
And it happened on Monday Night Raw, any given Monday. I have to ask you, Santi, let's, here, Sancho Western Wrestling is cool. When you were on the plane and you were getting delayed, were you like, oh, it's okay for me to miss this Raw? It's a Monday Night Raw. Did you feel like this? I know you didn't expect it to happen, but did you feel when you heard the card that there was a chance and you're like, I could miss this because title changes don't happen on Raw?
I was confident I could miss this one. It was, 2 episodes before Raw goes down to 2 hours. USA Network has their new baby in SmackDown. Like, that's what they're gonna be like wanting to push. I really firmly believe that Jey Uso deserved a victory, but when I looked at the context surrounding, I'm like, it's not gonna happen. 2 weeks out from Bad Blood is usually like this weird lull period for episodes of Raw and SmackDown where they kind of save the super hype stuff for the episode after, which is the go home episode, the Bad Blood. So, brother, everything was pointing that this was an okay episode for me to see. My flight's been delayed. Oh, that's okay. It's not going to be a big deal. Only for this to maybe be the best Monday Night Raw of the year, in contention at the very least, with one of the coolest, most shocking booking decisions that I've seen. And all it took was just not having Pure Fusion Collective in the first hour. That's all it took. I told bro, I like the hype package. That's like, okay, this is how you needed to introduce them from the beginning. I know I don't want to get too sidetracked from the Jey Uso stuff, but I'm just on the train thought. I'm okay with them doing a soft reset on PFC. Give me a reason to believe in them. Give me a reason to know why they're badasses, because you didn't do a good job up until this point. That hype package was the best thing that PFC had done since they've joined WWE as a group, as a collective.
It's just the name. It's just like you're working harder. Again, it's like when you're playing. It's like when you're playing Mario Kart and you pick like the low tier. You like the guy. You're like, oh, I like this racer. He's really cool, but you're just hurting yourself, man. You got to go with Yoshi. You got to pick the best of the best. And I think this. I wish they changed their name, but you're committed now. But back to Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. Does he defend this belt at Bad Blood, or is it too soon for a title defense?
I don't think so. I feel like defending it immediately at Bad Blood, like I would think like the only person would be Braun Breaker, right? Like that's the only person that it would make sense for. But I'm okay with just letting him have his moment for a while. I do feel like a rematch against Braun Breaker. Okay, here's what I'll say. We said that Braun Breaker can take an L. Braun Breaker can't take back-to-back L's to the same guy. That one I don't think you could do with Braun Breaker, because Braun Breaker in that match was special, and in the lead up to this he was special. But if he were to lose back to back and like definitively lose this feud to Jey Uso, I actually do think that could hurt Braun Breaker. So I'm okay with them keeping Braun Breaker out of the picture for a while. And then once you're ready to reinsert Braun Breaker into the title picture with Jey Uso, make it Survivor Series. I'm okay with that. Make it Crown Jewel, just not immediately. I'm okay with seeing Braun Breaker take that title back.
Here's what I want to ask you as well, to follow up that. Because we saw Gunther 666 days as IC title, a lot of people were starting to say like Braun Breaker's a transitional champion, but I don't see that. I think it's going to be a hot potato session here. I think this gives some good action going forward for the IC title to see it go between different superstars, because it's just going to add for like a kind of like piranhas, sharks in the water type of vibe. Like they're fighting for this prize, and really great talent could beat great talent. And it kind of still adds to the mystique of Gunther.
Yes. Can I talk a little bit about this concept of transitional champion for a second?
Oh, okay, lay it on me.
Yeah, I feel like people have misconstrued.
I didn't say it.
Not you. No. I feel like people have misconstrued the meaning of a transitional champion. All right. A transitional champion is not a champion that held it for a short time. A transitional champion is somebody that did nothing of worth of meaning to push the championship, because he was just holding it into somebody else that could elevate that championship, could take it from them. That's actually, you could have a year-long transitional champion. You did nothing with the championship belt. You were just keeping it warm, for transitioning it to the guy or girl that will actually do something with that championship. You want an example of a transitional champion? Look at Dean Ambrose when he held the US championship for like 9 months, did nothing with it, just to transition it off to somebody else that could actually do something more with that championship. You could have a long transitional champion. You could have a short, meaningful champion that did something with the championship, or had the championship do something for the wrestler. And I do believe that Braun Breaker, in the short amount of time that he was champion, elevated the championship and used the championship stage to elevate himself. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, not at all. I mean, I think of Rey Mysterio when he held the United States title. We're just like, this title's doing nothing. We were happy to see Logan take the belt from him, even though Logan didn't really fight a lot. He didn't have a lot of matches. I don't think Logan was a transitional champion. Logan raised the prestige in a different way than other champions would do that. One thing I want to talk about as well is like, this is what it was in the Attitude Era. I don't know what it's like in the Ruthless Aggression Era, but in the Attitude Era, that WWF Championship did jump a lot to different ships frequently. That's why it's not in terms of length, it's just importance of like, how'd you did it? How'd you win it? What were your matches like? Those were the things that mattered in determining the quality of a champion. I mean, The Rock held the belt like multiple times, but his length of reign was very minimal, and he would oftentimes lose it in the next PLE. He would lose it on a SmackDown. It didn't hurt anything of The Rock's momentum in any kind of way. I think what hurts wrestlers the most, Santi, when it comes to momentum and placement on the pecking order is like, you having a bad promo, you have a bad match, you botch or something here, you kind of like slip up or you don't bring that intensity that you normally have. And Braun Breaker has run into some of those issues before, but it's never slowed him down. Yeah, sure, he slips on the ropes when he's doing his Breaker Steiner, or he kind of, fumbles a line here and there, but those are the kinds of things that we overlook him because we see the extreme potential that he has and the connection he makes with the crowd when he's out there doing his thing. And I absolutely love the moveset. The moveset is an attraction itself. You said it. One of the prominent things that you said on the Wrestling School podcast in the past is like Braun Breaker's at his best is when he's in the ring. And when he's in the ring, it makes that episode of Raw or that PLE special.
That's why we both agreed that the introduction of Braun Breaker squashing people in 10 seconds just wasn't it, right? Because we wanted to see the entire arsenal of Braun Breaker because that's where we knew that his value really lies. But, we talk about the championship elevating somebody. I felt like Braun Breaker, when he was Intercontinental Champion, was connecting with the crowd like in such an insane level. I felt like his promos were really believable. He was this like presence as champion. And I just refuse to even entertain the idea that that's a transitional champion. That is a guy that did a lot with that championship in a short amount of time. At no moment were you or anyone around the WWE universe saying, well, when's this guy going to drop it? That's what you think of as a transitional champion. This was not it. So transitional, folks, it's not a length amount of time that defines what a transitional champion. It really is about the worth of the championship reign when it was happening.
Do you feel, just to pull it back a little bit, that Damian would be? I don't think Damian was a transitional champion.
We thought he was going to be. That's right. The thing. Was he initially? I think a lot of us thought the answer was yes, but he was one of those special individuals that took the opportunity and elevated himself with it and took the title and elevated himself with the title. Right? Mm-hmm. That's not a transitional champion. He had great matches, great storylines. He came out much better on the other side of his championship reign. That's not a transitional champion.
All rise.
Drew McIntyre is not a transitional champion in the 5 minutes that he was champion because it was special what he did, like what happened in those 5 minutes. A transitional champion, Sancho, a recent one would be when Nakamura was Intercontinental Champion. Do you even remember that?
No.
That's what transitional champions are.
The tag team titles are in transition right now.
Oh my God, yes.
Both of them are. Like, good Lord.
I disagree with the Bloodline, and we can get to that in a second. I've got some thoughts on that. But the Judgment Day, that's transitional champions. We're all like, when are they going to lose this? When can we get these off of them to somebody that's actually going to do something with those titles? And they were champions longer than Braun Breaker. So you see what I'm trying to say, folks? This is what I'm trying to instill into you.
It's like we got to get the terms correct, you know?
Yes, varying transition.
We can't be like Logan Paul not knowing what a shoot is. You know?
Why don't you go ahead and tell me? I'm pretty sure I know, but what do we?
Did you like how Hogan looked at the camera like Jim from The Office?
It was such a good moment. It was such a good moment. You mentioned the Bloodline, and obviously Jey Uso is, I think this is
Does he get inserted back?
I think so. I think this is the buildup of reinserting him back. You know what I could see? I could see Roman trying to recruit him and Jey being like, ooh, since I left you, look at what I've done. I don't need you. I don't need this anymore. I'm main event Jey Uso. I've done so much more in my time by myself because it's just me, Us. Day one, it's just me, Us. And why would I come back? And because I don't want Roman to knock on the door of everybody and everybody be like, yeah, let's do this. Let's run it back. We've just given Jey the best reason to turn down Roman Reigns.
Wow.
I'm sure eventually
when Roman's going in war games, I need you, Us. Nah.
That's so much better. That's so much better.
Does he show up then?
I think so. I think the story is like eventually, Jey Uso's like, all right, let's do this.
Do you want a cinematic request? Roman Reigns. Here's the new
Waffle House. At Waffle House.
Roman Reigns drives up, pulls up in his convoy of Escalades, and he goes to Jey, and it's like a very cinematic thing. He's like, I need you, Us. I need you. The family needs you. And then you have like Jey with the belt on his shoulder at Waffle House. I would take the belt everywhere if I was a champion. Everywhere.
Why not? Take it into Waffle House at 2 a.m. I mean, that's where people fight. So like the people might challenge you for that championship. I've seen a lot of Waffle House brawls.
Dude, they wanted a lot of fans of, I forget what fighting game, I think Tekken, went to the developer who, they're Japanese, and they were like, can we add a Waffle House stage? And they're like, I don't understand the concept of why you want it, because they would look cool. But yeah, dude, let's talk about Roman and Cody's cinematic face-up. Storm.
It was awesome.
It was awesome, right?
Dude, the whole segment was great. I think I maybe was trying to look at it a bit more. I was trying to find the substance in it as opposed to just like, this is a great segment between the two. And tell me if I'm reaching here. My conclusion watching that segment is that was actually
my conclusion after watching this subject.
I do declare. My conclusion is that was actually the unveiling of what babyface Roman is. Because before, it was Roman coming out, no promo, just beating up the Bloodline. They get into a brawl. There was a little bit of a promo, leading into into that segment the previous week. But this was the first time that I've seen Roman accepting vulnerability, not acknowledge me, I'm the tribal chief. It's Roman saying, I lost my Jimmy. I lost my wise man. acknowledging all of these things that have clearly made him a much weaker version of him, that have led him to extend an olive branch to somebody that he never would have. And I like that Cody didn't try to raise him up. Cody's like, you're right. You're not the tribal chief anymore. There's somebody else that's the tribal chief. That's not you anymore. And you don't even run this show anymore. And that's when Roman's like, what do you want? Right? Like, it was like that. He like kind of broke. He wasn't this like super like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, because before he had like this like aura of just all like being the tribal chief, and I don't think that he had that, and I think that's what they were going for.
This is what's called the invisible camera. Like, you have to pretend like the camera doesn't exist in this. And just to add to it, I never understood, like, why did they do this in the stadium? Why is it so secret? You're right. Roman doesn't want to show the WWE universe in terms of in an arena, in a ring, his vulnerability. He didn't want to show this, that has this anxiety and he's alone type of thing. That's why they did it in secret. Meet me at the Georgia Tech Stadium. I have something to tell you, Cody. I have something to ask you. And then you talked about it. What do you want? I think like in terms of if I had to, you were looking for the substance. I was like, okay, where can they make this better? Mm-hmm. I think this is the perfect vehicle for Roman Reigns to make the jump to movies. He was perfect in this. He delivered the lines as if he's in a movie, and it felt like a movie, and a lot of people felt that. Cody, though, was still cutting lines as if he was in an arena,
Yeah.
Out there.
You played football here.
You played football here while my family down the road. All right, Cody, you're talking. We're face to face, bro. We're talking here. Let's just talk to me. So I think it's a great way and a great excuse to give Roman, I guess, B-roll or reel, so to speak, if a movie was looking for him, because I think he'd be a great movie star in the future. But there's some things that people didn't like about it, and I want to leave. This is a safe place. I didn't have this feeling, but I was reached out to many people on my Twitter on Sancho West that they were like, yo, that was dope in our Patreon. It was dope, but I was there live and it kind of took the wind out of our sails.
I totally get it. This is
Right?
why, okay, just kind of connecting to some other things that we've talked about in the past. This is why I said that the Firefly Funhouse was a once in a lifetime thing. The Boneyard match was a once in a lifetime thing. It only worked in that context of no audience. I said before, how pissed would you have been to have paid for a WrestleMania ticket thinking that you're getting AJ Styles versus The Undertaker, John Cena versus The Fiend, only to have to look up at a screen? That would suck ass. And I would understand why the people in the arena also thought that sucked ass.
Yeah, I mean, you would want it in an arena. I mean, clearly there's another element as well that if you do these cinematic type of vignettes or promos or interviews, you want to call it, that you take the audience out. You're like, we need to deliver a message that we can't have the audience, participate in that. And yeah, some of the people that reached out was like, yeah, I wish that was in the ring. I wish we could kind of do our thing. But if that message that both Roman and Cody were delivering, that would have been like a 20-minute segment on SmackDown. It would have ate so much time and we would have lost a lot of the nuance of it. There was some really cool wordplay between Cody and Roman. Of course, the best line ever when that happened is like, "You're in my way in life." I am the storm.
Do you think that, let's say this was in the buildup of WrestleMania 40.
Ooh.
Do you think that because of the precedent that The Rock set of posting this on his social medias and major things happening away from the traditional arena crowd, like the press conference?
Yeah.
Do you think this could have landed well as just a social media release, or did this absolutely need its time under the sun on TV?
I think it's the impact's greater. I mean, that's where your most loyal fans are watching, right?
That's true.
And it's a great way, a barometer to see, can we do it again? And can we do it again, but do we have to go so hard? And I'm not gonna sit here and act like the WWE is the first, kind of promotion to do this. Lucha Underground, this is where their bread and butter was.
Yes.
Oh God, Lucha Underground was so good at the cinematic of kind of cutscenes that they would do. I think as a social post, it wouldn't cool, but I would have been so distracted versus watching on my phone. This felt like it deserved to be on a big screen somewhere.
I agree. I will say that if anything, this adds credence to what I've been saying for a really long time, that the worst value for your dollar as a wrestling fan is to go to Raws and SmackDown, typically, right? Like,
I don't know, man. It would have been cool to be in that
It would have been
crowd.
Awesome. And dude, we were not that far from it at TwitchCon.
I forgot about that. I was upset. I was like, oh my God, it's in Ontario? That's like less than an hour away. I could have gone.
I would have considered staying if I made that connection, because they're never in the West Coast. For those that don't know, we just came back from San Diego and TwitchCon. And actually a viewer that I met, Isaac, that I met at TwitchCon, was at the show with the sign that I signed literally a couple hours before at TwitchCon.
Did you see what I put on that sign? Oh, you didn't see what I wrote because I was the last one to sign it.
No, I didn't see it.
He came to my Twitch Rivals show and I was like doing my thing, hosting and casting. And I look up and I see a Wrestling is Cool sign in the audience.
How cool is that?
Dude, it was cool, man. I've always gone to TwitchCon to work. I've been hired, by Twitch Rivals. And I'm never there for myself, for my community. And to see this community, the impact of this community bleed over into the other facets I'm doing, it blew my mind. But I put a little horns on you. I put a little tear on you. And I put a sucks.
Wow,
and
nice.
I signed,
real fucking mature.
So
real mature.
You see the sign up under that Raw. Go back to the Ice Snatches Twitter post. You see the horns on you. You see.
You're so dumb. You're not funny. No one's laughing with you. No one is laughing.
Oh, I got you. So at least I didn't write F you on it like Drew McIntyre did to CM Punk or Eli Manning did on Tom Brady's jersey.
That's true.
I have some respect for you.
Gee, thank you for defacing me in a respectful manner.
I gave you a Dom tier.
That's true. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, going to that Raw would have been great. I've always said that those Raws and SmackDown, you are not there to be the prime focus of who they're entertaining. They're there to entertain the people watching at home.
Can you imagine you went to go get snacks during that moment? God, I'd be so mad.
wait, which moment? The Jey Uso main event?
No, for the Roman and Cody thing.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, commercial, I'm gonna go get snacks, and you're out there and you're in line and you look up at the monitor, you're like, oh God, what's happening? I'd be so mad.
I would be mad. I totally get the perspective of being a paying customer in the arena and then just having not only to watch on a screen, but then to actually get a significantly worse experience than us watching at home. Because the audio is just not the same. It's not as, you don't get the full cinematic feel of it. Really, like you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
Mm-hmm. And you missed Joe Tessitore's call that Jey Uso's winning.
Oh, that was so good. One of the things you mentioned that I want to come back to, just to kind of keep like a good flow of conversations between transitional champions, the tag champions, and now that we're talking about the Bloodline, I'd like to disagree with you respectfully about the Bloodline being transitional champions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that they're doing something really unique that we thought that Judgment Day could do. Something that not even the Bloodline, when the tag champions were Jay and Jimmy, were capable of doing very well, which is to blend the tag team division into the main event scene. You have the tag team champions, obviously, who are part of the main event scene on Friday Night SmackDown, who are, getting beat up by Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, but they're part of that story. But then they're not just hogging the titles to be part of that story, which is what's happening with the Judgment Day, where they're just hogging the titles and they're not elevating the tag team division. They were just given to them and are being used to elevate their individual storylines of the Judgment Day. Meanwhile, I look at what's going on with the Bloodline. They're still doing the same thing. The tag team champions are being part of the main event story. But then every week, even on NXT, they're having promos, they're having matches, they're doing beatdowns. Yeah. From orders of the tribal chief. If you ain't Bloodline, then you ain't nobody. So they're having these matches and promos against the actual tag team division.
Are you so good at Bloodline impressions? Like every single one you nail. It annoys me. Pat down. I think you would do that line better than me.
Oh, man. But yeah, they're elevating the tag team division, not necessarily to like be alongside the main event, but like by default, it's getting some of that main event aura inserted into it. And the Judgment Day is not doing that at all.
I give you that. I think the Judgment Day has been downgraded severely. And I do think, like, despite, even though DIY and Street Profits eating a lot of L's, they're still around. They're still being put on pedestals to at least get that shine. At least you go, wow, Montez Ford is a beast. Dawkins could do some crazy work. So you're like, ooh, I want to see them win. DIY, I don't think they're as getting as much. I think the biggest casualty, if you want to write this, or in terms of all of this, is DIY.
Sure.
They're not the same. And we knew that was going to happen when DIY lost. We're like, yeah, good luck getting those belt back.
Yeah. we did. That was the reaction.
It was like, and people were like, they're not buried. They're cool. Like, yeah, but are they going to get the belt back? No. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, I like what they're doing with them. And I noticed this in the SmackDown reviews. It's like they are slowly loosening the reins on the Tongans. They're letting them be like they were in the Gorillas of Destiny. If you watch Tama Tonga in New Japan, he had that same kind of, yeah, there he is. Yeah. He had that same kind of chaotic nature of him that it was unhinged, and this is what made him must watch. And I like that Tonga Loa's personality is so bizarre to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, why are you? Yeah. You got to be a Bloodline member for Halloween. Comments, let us know what member of the Bloodline it's they're gonna pick Tonga Loa.
You don't think I could pull off a Jacob Fatu? So low, I love you.
Then you gotta get the dreads. You gotta get the gold teeth.
Step up.
You gotta go all out if you're gonna be Jacob Fatu. Did you see when Jey Uso did the pop-up Samoan drop? I was like, oh, it wasn't as clean as Jacob, but he got
Jacobs
it over.
is like the deadliest looking thing I've ever seen.
Granted, he did do it against Braun Breaker, so I was like, I get it. They went for it.
Yeah. So overall, man, like just kind of obviously we're going to talk more about the episodes, but just back-to-back incredible episodes of
everything,
of SmackDown, of Raw. I'm out of breath from doing my Tama Tonga impression. It was like squatting the whole time. I'm trying to catch my breath here.
Come on, Santi. Okay, then I'll just take over for a bit while you get a blow. That's what they call it back in the day. When they brawl in the ring, JR go, he's out of the ring for a quick blow. You're like, all right, JR. Maybe,
yeah, JR. Wait. Pause.
You could use a little bit of maybe. Santi, here at Wrestling is Cool, we are kind. We are benevolent is the word I'm trying to throw out. We're full of heart. So I'm going to give you this one chance to plead your case for you to jump back on Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. This is your one opportunity to make a plea to the people of the Wrestling is Cool, because they're cooking. And they had a phenomenal episode on Monday Night Raw. The Xavier Woods crash out, the match itself, the follow-up, the fallout, the thing with Ray, I was like, this is crazy. That Ray's like, oh, you want to fight me? And then Xavier was like, yeah, let's go. I want to do it. And then Xavier Woods being a not delusional heel, being a justified heel. And those are the best kinds of heels. And like any kind of top-tier cinematic villain, you kind of go, ooh, I get where you're coming from. I understand why you're this way, and I get why you should get your way too. So Xavier is crashing out. He feels like he's being undermined by these former WWE champions. He's thinking that, because I'm not a singles gold. And I think what's interesting is when he congratulated Jey Uso about winning, he didn't really add any kind of like all the superstars were so happy, and he was like, congrats to Jey Uso. That's all he tweeted out, which is not normally an Austin Creed type tweet. So, Santi, now that I laid the groundwork here, I'm going to give you a chance to plead your case.
Okay, but first I have to ask, are you just baiting me? Are you going to have me pour my heart out only for you to just immediately say, not allowed on the trip? Am I being given a proper opportunity? Is this a fair, are you a fair judge and jury?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Just making sure. Listen, my concern was never about the New Day.
No. You have to address us, please. People of the Wrestling is Cool community. This needs to be a formal, it's like a band request,
People of the Wrestling is Cool community and all employees, conductors, and current residents of the New Day train.
And Karrion Kross train. Continue.
This is part of my argument. I do not believe that you are on the Karrion Kross train. I believe firmly that you are right now on a top-tier, first-class, direct route to WrestleMania in a fantastic feud, and will also be an emotional match between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. What Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso should have been. That is the end direction. And it's amazing. It's a beautiful, sunny landscape. And I'd like to join you there. What I would like to make the argument of is that you are on a different train. I was never against the New Day train. I was against the Karrion Kross New Day storyline, adding who into the mix. It wasn't working. And you have to a degree, look internally, folks of the Wrestling is Cool community, and recognize that it wasn't working. Because for a long time, the crowds were cheering, Santi is right. And they wouldn't just say that if I was wrong. There was truth to what I was saying. And look, where we're at now, no Karrion Kross, no Odyssey Jones, just a simple story between brothers. It's fantastic. And I would like to join this train. Now that the Karrion Kross deadweight and the Odyssey Jones deadweight, you've released those wagons off of your train. Now I'd like to purchase a first-class ticket to wherever it is that this is going. Because you're right, it's a fantastic fantastic must-watch storyline now. That's my plea. Please allow me back into the New Day train.
Folks, on this day...
The New Day train.
The New Day. On this day of recording, September 24, 2024, the people of the Wrestling School and I myself have gathered here. You know, we got everybody here together to look you dead in the eye and say, you're not allowed, you bum. You're not allowed on this train ever. You think you could plead? You think you could be on just like, ooh, this is not the right train? Not allowed. Not allowed, Santi. Santi, you think you could be on this train, Santi? Well, you're not allowed. Are you just going to say no? I'm going to pour my heart out. Yes, I am. You deserve it. You never believed in it. Doesn't matter. You're like Xavier and Cody cannot deliver. So you're not allowed on this train. Denied. Banned.
Why are you the way that you are? Who hurt you?
You did. Okay? You did. Immediately, I'm like, dude, I actually like this feud. And you, that's it. Segment is over. Ladies and gentlemen, the motion has been denied. The people of the Wrestling School has denied your pass.
I will appeal next week.
Oh, go ahead.
I will appeal every week. Every single week until I'm allowed to get back on this train. But I mean, I like where things are going with the Xavier Woods crash out because, as you said, there is justification to everything that he's saying. One of the things that I said in one of my YouTube videos is that it would be interesting if we have
You're not supposed to be posting anything about this. You've been banned, but continue.
YouTube it's a different. No, my YouTube videos are a different realm. All right, they're a different realm altogether.
Okay, sure.
I said that a lot of people are like, can't wait for the Xavier Woods heel turn when it happens. It's gonna break my heart. And I suggested the possibility of like, what if it's not an Xavier Woods heel turn, but just Xavier Woods against Kofi? Like he's still Xavier Woods. He's still fun-loving Xavier Woods. Still is friends with the people that are traditional baby faces, except Kofi Kingston. I feel like that could be an interesting dynamic to explore beyond just the black and white, baby face, good guy, bad guy, binary decisions that exist.
I did like as well when Kofi had that moment. He's like, bro, I brought the Udios. I got Francesca. Like, let's go back to the good vibes. And Xavier's like, no, dude, I want to lock in. I want to be serious. I want to capture tag team gold again. I feel like we're not taking it seriously. That's why we're not winning. It's been like, what, 3 years since we last had gold? And he's like, I want to lock in. I don't want. And Kofi's like, you're right. We're having this miscommunication. And I agree with that. And I love that it's being addressed in a very positive, and I know that's a thing, a positive way, but a very positive masculine way, you know? These two guys are trying to hash it out. They're trying to figure it out together. And sure, there's bumps in the road. And I like it. It kind of reminds me as well as when you're playing Fortnite. Oh, hold on. Hear me out. You're playing Fortnite and you're duos, and you're like, bro, we've been landing here for so long. Let's switch it up. How about I make the calls? Let me be the in-game leader here. Let me be the IGL. Let's drop here. Let's get this dub together. And just, it seems it's not working out. And I love it. And I mentioned this in the Raw review that I had a cover for you for, is that it still has that New Day humor, right? The guy showing up with a big old plate of pancakes and like, no, go away. It was those kinds of moments that I feel it's so good that they could, that's what makes the New Day so unique. They could be humorous, they could have fun, and they could bring it back into this serious mode as well. Some of the best actors in the world are comedians, like Adam Sandler, the Sandman. And I think that we're going to get a very dramatic match between Kofi and Xavier. And I don't think it's a heel turn. Like, I agree with you on that point. It's just yeah, dude, it's not like he's become the villain. He's just, sometimes good guys have bad days, dude.
I like that. Sometimes good guys have bad days. What is it? Is it the Joker that says, but sometimes all it takes is like one really bad day.
Yeah. It's like, sometimes it's like gravity. You just got to give it a push.
What a movie. What a movie.
Batman goes, what did you do? Dog, because at TwitchCon, during the entire time they were releasing the Penguin on HBO, so they had like nonstop Batman marathon. So every night I would go sleep to a different Batman or wake up to a different Batman. It was great. I was in the Dark Knight world, and it's such a juxtaposition. Yeah, Heath Ledger, just doing an Oscar worthy, which he did win an Oscar for performance, and then you have where she's about,
where is she?
You're just like, why? Why did you do that?
You don't like Christian Bale as Batman?
I don't like him doing the voice. It's like if you were like, okay, I get it. Yeah, Bruce Wayne would disguise his voice, but it kills it, dude. It kills it.
You'd think he'd have like something a bit more high tech than just go.
Yeah. Like, dude, you have high tech for everything, and yet you're like, you know what? How about I just, you know, it's safe so that you want your budget, Bruce. But I love Ben Affleck's Batman voice, where they did kind of address it with tech, but then they eventually dropped that. I think it was good. I didn't, George Clooney, not a bad Batman, but too goofy in the suit. The nipples. Val Kilmer is an underrated Batman, bro.
Val Kilmer's great. Val Kilmer's good.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman.
I like Robert Pattinson, actually. I think he plays
you do?
I like him as
something in my...
I didn't love the movie. You
didn't love him?
It was extravagantly too long. It's like, brothers, let's get to the point. Like, I feel like we could do this in 2.5, not 3.5 hours.
It's Detective, but the only thing, Detective Batman's dope. I love it when he was just standing there with like a room full of cops, and it's just accepted. Like, yeah, it's Batman. I think where it kind of took too long is him saving Gotham, like the dam breaking and everybody going into the stadium. You're like, all right, did we need Batman to be this superhero type vibe? I guess.
Who's the Batman of WWE?
Oh, it's funny. I think Chris Van Vliet had what is it? What's his name? He has the other podcast he's on Raw Talk. Oh, is his name Sean? He used to have that crazy hair.
Oh, Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts. Yeah, he had him, and they said that it's Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes is the Batman?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes is Batman. Yeah, and then that John Cena's Superman, and he said that Seth Rollins is the Joker.
Why? Just because he laughs?
That's what they were. Well, who do you think? Didn't we have a little moment a long time ago? Like, who's Batman of the WWE?
Did we do that?
Yeah, I did a long time ago.
I mean, like, I think it's kind of. You could say the Undertaker, right? Like the guy that. No, listen. Like, just like you have American Badass Taker, and then you have like in the mask refuses to drop the character gimmick Undertaker, right? That's kind of Batman-ish.
No, it's Cody.
No, it's not Cody.
What's
Cody's Batman ego? He's just a Bruce Wayne. He's not Batman. He's just a Bruce Wayne.
So you could say Finn Balor then.
When he
see, you're going down the wrong way of looking at it.
Yeah, whatever.
If you're gonna figure out Batman, you start with who can be Bruce Wayne. Then you.
That's actually false because Bruce Wayne is the mask of Batman.
Oh wow.
The Batman's not the mask, brother. Bruce Wayne's the mask.
It's the gimmick. Bruce Wayne's the gimmick. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, man. Overall, what a good time. I absolutely enjoyed being at TwitchCon. And just to quickly talk about that, I want to think of the people that came to the panel for the rise of pro wrestling. And shouts to Mega Ran for being a late addition to actually moderate the panel. Awesome dude. You should support Mega Ran. And everybody that we have there at the panel was amazing. It was really fun panel. You were there last year. And thank you to Command, Wheezy, to Elisa from Girls Play Games, right? I think that's I forget the handle, but I'll get that. But man, what a vibe, dude. And I hate that we got 45 minutes, but we made every 45-minute count. It went by so fast.
Yeah, man, they were trying to give us the yank because they started us late and they wanted to finish us at the exact time that we were supposed to finish. They weren't willing to give us the courtesy to go a little bit over time. But overall, like I felt like I respect the organization of Twitch. They got to get things going, right? So huge shout out to Twitch for letting us put this on. Shout out to everybody that came because there was like 60 of you. Like there was like a packed house in there. Sancho worked this couple into getting angry and leaving in person. Like
I didn't do it on purpose.
Yes, you did. You were working it. You were working them.
I was having a good time. It's GP_TV. Yes. Girls Plays. Shot them on Twitch. But
it was so much better than last year's. Like infinitely better.
Yeah. I think what for me was an eye-opening experience is like, again, if you put in the work, the countless hours that we do the podcast, that y'all listen and support, the Patreon and all those kinds of things, like you put in the work, dude, it's cool to see it manifested like in the community. Like it felt like an actual community that were being built, and everybody was getting like the inside jokes of WWE, and pro wrestling. And the only thing is, I wish we did have more time so we could get to the AEW part 2. We literally had 45 minutes. We did bring up AEW, in a positive way, but we were, poking holes in it and having fun. We poke holes at all pro wrestling promotions. But what Santi is talking about is there's a person that did not enjoy that we weren't talking about AEW enough from the outset. And then when I heard that, I said, I actually love the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. They're amazing. And I'm so happy that the Lucha Brothers signed to the WWE. And I said it like that.
They left immediately.
Clearly, I meant it in a joke. And I know there's tribalism as a all-time high. But when it comes to, for the way I approach it, Santi, I don't know, but like when it's wrestling, we got to have fun at poking at each other. And I guess some people didn't understand that you never you never shoot yourself into a work, brother.
Yeah. And yeah, like we tried to explain, like, listen, like we're talking about like the mania of pro wrestling, and there is a 70 plus year legacy versus a 5-year legacy. And there's just a lot more to talk about when it comes to the fandom of WWE, because all of us there were fans, I think, in our 30s or older. Yes. So all of us, to a degree, grew up and fell in love with wrestling because of the WWE. So a lot of the memories that we were talking about, a lot of our core memories are WWE related. What's your most toxic core memory of pro wrestling? Like, what's the one that, like, if you were to put it into your podium of memories, would just trigger just like the worst? I'll go with mine so you can think of yours.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Kofi Kingston losing in 5 seconds to Brock Lesnar. That's like my toxic core memory, bro. Yeah, you were there. That like makes me angry still to this day. Like it literally, like, if you want to get me talking negatively about pro wrestling, you start there.
I thought you say that I was there too. Does that add a little bit to it? Like a little bit of cherry on top?
I think so. You guys screwed.
The toxic thing, I mean, I hate being an old head on this show because
you are. Just say it. Whatever. Oh, the Macho Man and Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior. Oh, they're the best. Come on, just get it out, old man. What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say the Montreal Screwjob.
That's not that old. That's fine.
That's old. It's 90s wrestling. That's old. It's 30 years ago.
It is old. You're right. I was trying to make you feel better.
Lord, I know. I appreciate it. So that's the one I think about. But I do think of as well. There was something kind of toxic about The Rock and Cena. Like, it never really felt like they were there to work with each other. They were literally there trying to tear each other down.
They were working in spite of each other.
Right. And I think what is interesting, if you really think about it, reflecting on the past, John Cena kind of was regretful that they didn't really click together. Like, they could have easily made more money out of that feud, but instead had so much animosity towards each other because, you have John Cena having to defend his rightful place as the leader of the WWE, holding down the fort for so many years, or almost to a decade at that point. And then you had The Rock come in and be like, you're a fruity pebble. Like, come on, dude. There was so much of that stuff where I think where The Rock said, I'm just going to take my ball and go home, is when they had the angle about the writing on the wrist thing, or John Cena called him out. And I think from that moment on, it went from, oh, this is not just business, this is personal. And, you crossed the line that I still think it was manufactured still to this day. I still think it was a work to get that out there to give John Cena a leg up on The Rock. I think that to me is a very weird, it's like in the movie Inside Out. It's not just pure toxic, right? There's some good vibes to it, but it had a little bit of tint of toxicity in it.
I think that's actually a good choice. There is just kind of like vibes, like awkward vibes sometimes when you look back at that feud. It didn't feel like the mega party that it should have.
Right? It should have been a celebration. Like, oh my God, we're getting another icon versus icon, because Hogan versus Rock didn't have that animosity.
No, that was a party.
Yeah, that was a party, and it should have been like that. It should have been a party. And I know, granted, maybe they had a match plan, but Rock got hurt very early in that match. And I think if you were to say, like, what would it look like if it was a party? Look at WrestleMania 40, dude. That was a party.
That was a party. That was a party.
1 and 2.
Let's talk about some other parties. We got the Bad Blood party coming up. Card is shaping out to be nice. They didn't add any more matches over the last couple episodes of Raw or SmackDown. It seems like the card is set. It's looking like they're keeping Sammy and Gunther off of it. Maybe? Question mark. But we got Dom in a cage, which is awesome. Just hanging, dangling up there like the sexy man that he is. Like a delicious forbidden fruit that you just want to go up there and pluck.
The allure.
Yes.
Dominic Cage.
Just take one bite. Just one. Bite into the forbidden fruit of Dom's apple.
Jesus Christ. I hope Dom's watching, because Dom seems like the kind of guy that he would stumble across a clip or something and he would watch it, right? I mean, he's part of the generation where he's probably on his phone a lot, right?
Yeah, he's an iPad kid.
Yeah.
He is. Come on. Bro, he eats nothing but chicky tendies and says things like getting shadow banned. He's an iPad kid.
Like I could just imagine when he was with Judgment Day with the Rhea, and then like Dom, he's at dinner and they pull out the iPad, let him watch it so they can have their dinner in peace. They order for him first because they're like, you remember in the interview, he's like, yeah, we can't go. It was Damien, yeah, we can't go anywhere that doesn't have chicken tendies. Like, it needs to be on the menu. That's a kid. That's a
child. That's a child.
But bro, the tendies we had at TwitchCon at the Union, delicious.
Maybe the best tendies I've ever had. Like, in contention. They were juicy, so good.
Salty, peppery. The fries were like really nice, and the dips. Wheezy Blonde took a great picture of us. And by the way, shouts to the girls play game. They tweeted out the perfect video, the meme video of TwitchCon.
Buddy, I've already gotten 2 tweets over 100,000 views just off of that meme video.
Because when you were doing that to me, I was just we're having fun, and I pan over and I see the camera on me. That's why
Good.
Gave you that button.
Yeah, man.
That spatial awareness.
You had it. You're always looking for the hard cam.
Always looking for the hard cam, dude. When I was doing the just to go back to TwitchCon when I was doing Rivals, and thank you so much for supporting.
Did you like me there?
Fantastic. Yeah, I did, dude. It's so fun. There was a moment, in just a quick aside, that you guys should check. You should definitely check out my X account, because I post some of my favorite calls, and I think I was on fire. But there was a moment where we had to demo a game, and we're throwing basketballs at this hoop, and I throw the first one where we're supposed to do it, and no pop. I literally throw it, and I look at the crowd, and I made it, no pop. I go, oh, great, no pop. And so I said that, and I go, all right, I'm going to throw this from midcourt. And they're going to throw the long ball. And so I did the Claymore 3, 2, 1 countdown, right? Just like a good old Drew McIntyre. But when I threw it, it's just something about it, man, just performing in front of people. But it was just really fun to have people. A lot of people came up and took pictures with me in between breaks. I never had that before, man. It's really cool. That would be one of my favorite TwitchCons in a long time. I mean,
were you finding a big uptick in recognition for wrestling related things at TwitchCon?
Yes, absolutely. And that was it's so fun, man. It's so fun because it feels like I took a risk, man. I took a risk to halt everything that I was doing and jump into wrestling, and to jump into a new category and a new thing. And it's really cool. That's what's so cool about TwitchCon, is you see your work manifested in people, and it's not going to be a thing. But to go back to Bad Blood, sorry,
I think you're going to see it at like 1,000-fold at your next wrestling show. At your next wrestling show.
No, I know it's going. I am not ready for it. I am not ready for it. And I think what's amazing about Bad Blood, I kind of want to go to, but I want to go to the Saturday night main event. I want to go to that.
Oh,
December
you know what? I
13th.
haven't done enough like looking into it because it was announced when we were in San Diego. What do you
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
about it?
It's gonna be on the 13th, and it's gonna be in Long Island at the Nassau Coliseum or whatever.
Yeah,
It's called out there.
televised?
I don't think so. It's
Oh,
supposed to be. So yeah, that's why I kind of want to go to it if it's not televised. It sounds
yeah.
like a good time, December, Christmas in New York. You ever gone down to Rockefeller? Maybe you've run into your long lost love serendipitously.
No, can't say
No,
that I have.
no,
No, I haven't done that. Have you?
no.
Oh.
But maybe you will.
Maybe you'll go skate in Rockefeller Center and somebody will scream, Sancho, I love you. Yo, shout out to the guy that I was just walking by at TwitchCon and all I hear is Santi. I just look over and it's just some guy going, I love you. Of course, I had to return it right back to him, even louder, because I wasn't gonna get punked like that.
Did you enjoy seeing your son on the stage? Doing what he does best.
Dude, you were great. You were great. It was cool. I knew how good you were at your job. It was cool seeing Wheezy and Conman and Tesh see you do your thing, and then oh damn, because they've never seen you outside of wrestling like that. I'm pretty confident in that. So them seeing you in your gimmick, in your environment, was pretty cool to see their feedback on it. And yeah, did you like us doing our wrestling?
Yes.
Things from far back there?
I absolutely loved it, man. And I know this has turned into a pat on our back session for a bit, but we work hard.
I'm amazing. Please look at my PowerPoint.
Look,
have a look.
No, it's always because the community feels us. Truthfully, I mean the TwitchCon's a very, very exhausting week. And the social battery drain, the going to the parties, going to the panels, running around and stopping, taking pictures. It's draining, but it's that I always go for the next person I meet that takes a picture, boom, gives me another adrenaline rush, and I'm like, awesome. Let's keep going.
Bad Blood.
One day you're gonna have a meet and greet.
Maybe. Bad Blood.
Yes.
Yes.
The card. The reason why I wrote Bad Blood, and I think what's interesting is it's growing in a way that they're adding wrinkles to make me go, ooh, okay, Dominic Cage. Now that's an exciting thing. We got the Hell in a Cell edition. There's so many different things that they're adding to Bad Blood, and I think Cody, they're gonna have another cinematic to build up to that. One of the things I want to talk about though, and is this a safe place?
Yes, Sancho, this is a safe place.
Okay. I think Drew and CM Punk should not be on TV anymore until Bad Blood.
I think I think they're going to be in it the go home.
Yeah, because there's really nothing they could do or say that's already not been said, and it's already got to the violent point. I mean, literally, you had Drew shove beads down CM Punk's throat. CM Punk called himself the devil. Both Drew and Punk build up the severity of the Hell in a Cell. They already put it over. We know it's a dangerous thing. And there's just nothing else they can do. They whipped each other. They beat each other. They stopped each other from winning matches. I just don't want to see them anymore. And I felt that way when Drew McIntyre cut his latest promo. I was like, yeah, you said some things that are interesting. You did the same kind of thing where you were mugging the camera. And I was just like, I just feel they could mess up the flow that they're in. You're so good, dude. Just run the ball. Run out the clock.
Just put the fries in the bag. At the
No.
point.
Just run out the clock. Just run out the clock. I don't need to see another long ball from them. I don't need to see a highlight moment from them. Let room for other feuds build up while we know what we're going to get. We're going to get a banger match out of that. It's going to be probably match of the year. It's probably going to be the most violent match we're going to have in the WWE in a long time. I think CM Punk's going to look like a Necro Butcher match. Be great stuff, man. I don't want to see it anymore. And I feel that way with Gunther and Sammy too. I already know what I'm getting here. I don't need to be convinced to tune in.
Do you think that maybe they pulled the trigger too early in the PLE build-up cycle on Punk and Drew McIntyre, that now there's no more need or room to continue to build up to it? And maybe that's on purpose. Maybe it's hey, let's spend the first early months building the ever-living hell out of Hell in a Cell so that it doesn't overshadow the buildup of what we're trying to do with the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes, and let that now be what we build up and what we focus on over the next couple of weeks. Because it does feel like a couple of weeks ago, we were all like, this needs to be the main event. Hell in a Cell needs to close the show. This is by far the best story and the best feud. I still think that's the case. But now, obviously, that's slowed down a lot because now they're like staggering their weeks. You know, Drew shows up, then Punk shows up, then Drew shows up. Maybe Punk closes next week, gets the last word in. What I'd like to see them do is maybe like a satellite interview. Well, we can't have these guys in the same place.
Yeah,
so
that'd be cool.
Just keep them in opposite sides of the country. It's the only way that we can stop them from killing each other.
The old Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly what I'm thinking.
Where are you, bro? Where are you? Come get me. Come get me. Did you see Seth Rollins at Indianapolis versus the Bears, the Colts versus Bears?
Yeah, man, he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble. So good.
I feel bad for him, dude. There's nothing worse than being a Bears fan right now.
That's true. You could be a Browns fan.
True. See, you can say anything you want about the Cowboys. You can't kill something that's already dead. All right, I'm already dead inside.
Dude, you're such an insecure little baby. I didn't even mention the Cowboys, and you're immediately jumping in.
Preemptive.
You're putting up shields immediately. Yeah. You're drinking your chug jugs. You know, Fortnite, getting your shields up. It's like, bro, we weren't even gonna go there. You just knew. Ready. You just knew.
I'm ready. If I jump in front of me, I'm not giving you ammunition. Like, there's nothing you can say to me. I'm already dead inside. It's a hollow husk. You ever feel that way about it's like, for me, I can't say anything to degrade John Cena to you. You're like, I'm already locked in.
Yeah, brother. I bought in
for life.
Brother, I've got 10 timeshares across John Cena land. Like, I'm in this, brother. I've got diamond hands.
Here we go. In the latest John Cena tweet.
Oh boy.
Here we go. As of 6 hours ago, we are only as good as the promises we keep. Put value into your word and into each handshake. Once they are worthless, it is a very long road to bring them back to have value.
I live by that. That's 100% true.
Yeah?
That's 100% true. That is such a fact. You know, like you
look at you. Yeah, I don't see this.
I mean, like, not that I'm biased or anything. One of my 8 John Cena shirts, soon to be 9. That's true, man. You say you're gonna do something, do it. Otherwise, if you don't do it, next time you say anything, I will never believe you. I'll never put any trust in you. You know who's a man you can trust though? Bronson Reed. I don't know why. I was just trying to transition to Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. What? Okay, just from looking at them, who would you trust more? Bronson Reed or Braun Strowman? Who's more trustworthy?
Oh, I don't know, man.
There's
Bronson
something.
Reed has that Kiwi vibe about him.
That's
right?
what I was gonna say. Yeah, I feel like he'd go to bat for you. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, this guy's good, Mike. You know, that kind of vibe.
Yeah. Is that how he talks?
Yeah.
100%.
If he wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could do it.
You ever watch Bluey?
No. What is that?
I would trust those dogs over anybody.
Oh, is that an Australian Shepherd dog?
It's they're healers, blue healers. It's a cartoon show for kids. That's really good for adults. I would trust those over anybody.
All right. Top children's show that you could watch as an adult as your kid is watching.
Bluey.
Bluey's
number one. Bluey's number one because it covers like good family values, but then it'll come out of nowhere and remind you like, bro, your kid's growing really fast. And then you see these dogs go through that and you're like, all of a sudden they just hit you right in the feels, dude. And all of a sudden, I mean, it used to be like, I don't know. I can't think of any other show that had the same impact as Bluey. Bluey came out. Bluey is the Paul Levesque era of cartoons. Like we are in the Bluey era.
We're in the Renaissance era.
We are in the Renaissance of cartoons because there's only 8-minute episodes, Santi, and bangers after banger after banger.
What did you think of the Braun Strowman? Okay, so really, like, we now have 2 stories intertwining, right? We have the Miz and Karrion Kross, Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. I like that. I feel like whatever Karrion Kross is doing here, this is
wait, what?
This is landing a bit more to me than the Xavier Woods stuff that he was trying to do.
You like who?
I didn't say I like Karrion Kross. I said I said I like what's happening right now that happens to involve Karrion Kross.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means that okay, imagine a delicious pie, all right?
Okay.
But then you have gross peas in there that you don't like. You can still enjoy the pie by plucking out the peas. That's what's
gonna pluck out Karrion Kross.
Yeah. That's what happened in the New Day storyline. I was given a gross chicken pot pie that was good aside from the peas. I picked up the peas. That was Xavier. That was Karrion Kross, and that was Odyssey Jones, and now I've got a delicious chicken pot pie.
Look at you, like a child. You don't like to eat greens and vegetables.
Gross.
Part of the recipe. Part of the recipe.
Well, if it makes my eating experience better, then I will do that.
Develop a palate.
I have a palate.
He is a very sophisticated wrestler. His promos are sophisticated. They're thinking man promos. What do you want them to be like? You gotta eat your vitamins and say your prayers. That's what you want?
They're not thinking man promos.
They are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, it's just gaslighting. That's all it is.
He literally told the Miz, "There's more ways. There's more ways to be a monster."
Okay, that was a good line.
Yeah, there's more ways to be a monster, and you know what you need to do to win, and that's why you need to be. That's the way you.
Okay, that was a good line. That was a good line.
He's not wrong about the Miz. Ever since the Miz turned face, he's been not the same, and I want the Miz to be the Miz. We ask, can Miz ever be a heel again? We're like, no. Yeah, he can, and he's definitely better as a heel, and I feel like he even says so himself. He's like, I don't know what to do when people cheer me. I never had this response before. And he literally is a side piece character to R-Truth. That's not the Miz we know. That's not the Miz we need when he fights as John Cena. You even said so yourself. Why is he teaming up with John Cena, doing all these five knuckle shuckles and all blah, 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 blah. It's not worth it. That's
I agree.
Not the Miz that we want.
I agreed. I thought that it was stupid. Miz. Look,
we want the one who goes, I can't pray.
That's why I said I like.
You like Karrion Kross?
No, I did not say that. I like the overall direction of where things might be going here. But more than anything, and I like that, that's still kind of in its beginning stages. The Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman stuff is like Raw's Carmelo versus Andrade. Fight forever, please. And you know what else I've entirely just I've kind of worked out of my head? This notion that this X match deserves to be on a PLE, because now we're seeing so many awesome episodes of Raw and SmackDown with amazing matches. And I don't want to go back to the era of Vince McMahon where the only matches that were worth their weight in gold were the ones on pay-per-views. I like that you can tune into Raw and watch an awesome Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker match. In the same episode, you could get an awesome Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman match. On SmackDown, I love that you can get Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. I feel like if it was always this match is too good to be on free TV, it has to go on a PLE, it would make those weekly shows significantly worse.
Significantly worse.
Riff for a second. My dog's going bananas.
Sure. Now that he has left the room, folks, we are now entering.
Wait! Don't go anywhere. We don't want. Don't. Where are you taking them? I had you in my head. You said now we're at. Where are you taking the people?
Just go take care of your dog, brother. Don't worry about it. What a great time that we live in, that not only that Jey Uso is the Intercontinental Champion, the Yeet Man, but we also have the Yes Man. That's right, LA Knight cooking once again as United States Champion. We get two of the best main eventers, the two top baby faces holding on to mid-card titles, turning them up a notch. And LA Knight. Yeah, you may say that, oh yeah, sure, he botches little superplex move against Andrade. Sure, did he have an awkward handshake with Andrade afterwards? When, we all have those moments in life when we're trying to do a fist bump, the other person wanted a dab, and you're like, I don't know what we should do, and you get that awkward interaction, and that's what happened. But if you didn't pay attention, LA Knight had a great thing. He's like, yeah, sure, I messed up that move. I got tired legs, but it doesn't matter because I dropped Andrade on his head, gave him the good old BFT. Awesome stuff from LA Knight and still mega over. And the only thing that I find interesting is why did they pull the trigger on Andrade versus LA Knight so early when Melo and Andrade had a good rhythm going? And what also a little fun little segment afterwards when Andrade was like kind of limping off from the match and Melo was just like, he literally told him, put the fries in the bag, bro. He had that moment and they had that crazy backstage brawl, one of the most realistic backstage brawls I've ever seen in a long time. So it's cool to see that the mid-card title, and just to go back to your point, the Raws and SmackDown are a fun place, a sandbox environment for the mid-card title to have their mini PLE moments. And that's why it's worked so well, because now they are treating the main event like a PLE. You're getting the high packages. You're getting so much a reference to it. You're getting less rewinds. I feel like we it's okay to get a flashback or a recap, but I like that WWE is exploring new ways of doing this with the vignettes, with the packages, with the promos. Like a Damian Priest is like, hey, I'm going to cut a recap promo and tell you why I don't like Finn Balor, go through the history, but still do it in a package of a promo. I think that's why the WWE is cooking right now, is they're not doing the same formulaic things. They're just not showing up and like turning on the stream and doing the basic things. They are mixing it up. They're finding new ways. Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman right off the bat. Peter and Chicken fighting, knocking over the merch table, interrupting the entrance of Dom and Liv, who show up in the Mattel lowrider. There's so many cool things that they're doing that makes us want to pay attention. They're doing must-watch TV. How many times, Santi, have you been watching SmackDown and Raw lately, and you're like, oh, this is a perfect time for me to focus and upload my reaction to TikTok and Instagram, and then bang, out of nowhere, something's happening. Like, oh my God, what's happening? I gotta pay attention now. And you can't not miss any single moments. And I just think it's great work. And I cannot wait to see what Bronson Reed do, Braun Strowman. And they gave a high package to them, Last Monster Standing. And they added a fun little moniker to it to keep us invested. I still say they're going to tag team up together, though.
Yeah, okay. Everyone was saying that Andrade and Melo were going to tag team together. But the feud's gotten so heated that I don't see that happening again. And
No.
I have a feeling that that's what's going to happen with Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. I don't think that they end up tag teaming together.
Dude, it's two kaiju monsters respect each other at the end of the day. Have you ever seen a King Kong Godzilla movie?
Actually, no.
No, you should watch the new ones. They're pretty. Godzilla -1 is really solid. It's a different kind. It's like a different kind of timeline type beat. But the one that they were building up, King Kong versus Godzilla, there are some duds, but some really cool action moments. Still, one of my favorite moments is one of the. There's a moment in the King Kong movie that they have where the guy. I'm gonna ruin it, but he shows up with a grenade. He's like, he sacrifices himself. He's like, I got this. Y'all go on, and he pops the grenades, and he's like that. He's like, come on and eat me. And then the monster just looks at him and tail whips him, and he goes flying into the canyon and blows up.
That's awesome.
It's so good, dude. Even if I ruin it, you should still watch it. Kind of reminds me of Chris Hemsworth in the Cabin movie, and he's on the motorcycle.
Oh,
and he's like, he just goes down the wall. Oh, I love it. And I love that. That's what I mean. Wrestling is doing these unexpected things that are just coming out of nowhere and it's catching you off guard.
Are you, because this happens because of the argument that PLE should only have 5-6 matches at most, because the Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker in a different lifetime, under a different regime, doesn't happen on Raw, happens on a PLE. And something tells me that if this this had happened in the middle of Bad Blood, it wouldn't have been as special as it was closing Monday Night Raw. I believe that. I really do.
Granted, USA fumbled the ending, right? They ran out of time.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get that big celebration. And the people in Ontario did benefit from that. They paid the ticket. They got that great celebration. I don't know, man. I think the thing is, I'm just worried when you go back in time, will you go to that Monday Night Raw? Will you, if they present it and they package it on a VOD, VOD, or archive, it's like Jey Uso winning. If they had it like a thumbnail or something that you could easily go back to, sure. But a lot of great moments get lost on SmackDown and Raw. And I feel that, I don't know, because like Mankind winning the world title is a moment. But do I remember which Raw it was off the top of my head? No.
Yeah, but you don't need to. You just need to remember the moment. You don't need to go back to the exact date and time.
For every Uso and Braun Breaker, we get like an LWO payoff that doesn't go anywhere because it happens randomly on the Raw. And like, for example, they had the big Dragon Lee versus Carlito match. On paper, that's a big deal, right? You and I both know Carlito screwed over Dragon Lee, and they kind of bring it up, and we're like, all right, this is going to be a big deal blow up. But no, it
wasn't.
It wasn't, because it just pushes the Judgment Day and LWO story a little bit further. And that's the thing that I feel. Yeah, you could blow me up in the comments. Does Dragon Lee and Carlito need to be at a PLE? No, but it could be at a pre-show. It could be at one of these things that give them a little bit more pizzazz than just like a 3-minute match.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, for every great thing you have a I guess, you know what it is? It's like they're dumping the goods. It's like, all right, we could just soft play it out.
I think my logic
and
is
move it on, right?
Yeah, I think my logic is if it wasn't worthy enough to get time and love on Raw, why should it be time? Why should it be worthy of getting time and love even on a PLE pre-show?
Okay, let's just play devil's advocate together. And I'm not doing this to shove a pie in your face. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they weren't, and Karrion, they weren't. It was dead in the water for a long time, right? It wasn't finding any traction.
Correct.
Right? I think that if they had a PLE when it was dead in the water, it would have blown any chances for it to get to where we are. I will agree to that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like it. Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna keep going back to the argument, man. Like it should only be on the PLE if it deserves to be on the PLE. But I don't want the only good matches, the only worthwhile must-see matches to be on PLEs, because now we're seeing Solo versus Cody Rhodes. Obviously, that's a special episode of SmackDown, but on SmackDown, and we've been talking about other fantastic examples, and it's just leading to much better episodes of Raw and SmackDown, and it's making sure that not every match, like in the 2010s, just ends in a roll-up or disqualification because they're too scared of definitive results happening on not a PLE. Those used to be the only places where definitive ends to matches and feuds could happen. Because if you got pinned or submitted on Raw, you're too weak to be on a pay-per-view. So it led to a lot of those crappy, indecisive finishes, when now that's just not the case.
I do feel that it's not the end of Jey and Braun Breaker, though.
No, I think it's just the beginning, brother.
All right, it's just the beginning. And like what? Oh,
the fire rises.
I'm trying to think of movies where it's like the first movie is like, it's not the end, dude. We're just getting started. It's that kind of reminds me of Transformers, dude. That'd be a cool cut to do.
I think I have the best example of that, though.
Oh, hit me with that.
The original Saw movie.
Because
it ends with the villain actually being revealed. I feel like that's oh man, dude, that's still one of the best endings in movie history. I will die on that sword. So good.
When he was, I don't want to spoil it, but it's worth
it's so old, brother. It's over 20 years old.
It's such a good, it's a good swerve. It's like Sixth Sense, same kind of thing.
It's better. It's
good,
better than the Sixth Sense swerve, bro.
It's so, because the music's so good. The movie is very cheesy, though. Cary Elves, that performance did not age well.
No, it didn't.
He did not age well, but still, I want to play a game.
What's your name? My name is very fucking confused.
I think that other guy was the writer.
I know. He wasn't an actor. He was the writer. James Wan? Yeah, James Wan.
Yeah, the director. Yeah, James Wan. And director of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes.
Tokyo Drift, one of the best ones. I want to point this out to you. While we're transitioning into talking, I want to talk about the Wyatts here, because I feel like this is the appropriate place to talk about them. There's nothing like the Halloween season. I love very cheap horror movies. Oh, it's so good.
Leigh Whannell. Saw was James Wan and Leigh Whannell.
Okay.
That guy, Adam, was Leigh Whannell.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I absolutely love the Halloween season, and I'm liking that the WWE is finding some kind of a spookiness to what they're doing. Like Bad Blood feels like a horror movie, like right? It feels like a B movie. Like we're going to Bad Blood. and the cheesiness of Dominic Cage. Like there's so many good things that is happening here for Bad Blood that I love. And I love that it's happening in the first week of October. Like that's going to be perfect. Ooh, nothing like a good little sweater, a little pumpkin spice latte.
Bro, Sarah's already like, we need to buy the pumpkins.
Yeah.
She's already in Halloween mode.
Are you gonna put a WWE decoration on your pumpkin, you jack-o'-lantern? You're gonna put a John Cena jack-o'-lantern, you dumb? Why am I so mean to you?
Yeah, what?
I apologize.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Little
Okay, I'm sorry.
dumbass Cowboys fans, stupid ass Cowboys fan.
You can't
hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones. That's what you are right now as a Cowboys fan.
I'm just a husk, dude. What was cool with Dak Prescott, though, in that interview when he was going to the locker room, he was like, go ahead, jump off. I'm like, yeah, that's my quarterback. Go ahead, jump off. If you don't want to be on this train, get off.
Oh my God. You're treating this like the New Day trade?
Didn't I tell you that? I said, go ahead, jump off. You don't want to be on this train? Go ahead. You're banned. And that's what Dak Prescott did. He's like, go ahead, jump off. I don't need you on this Cowboy train. We don't need you on this Cowboy train, okay?
All right, so Wyatt 6.
Yeah, spooky season, PLE.
I wouldn't mind seeing them on NXT because they've got Halloween Havoc, and they actually go like deep into like Halloweeny stuff.
Yeah,
I think that they could do something, even if it's not like a full blown feud. You know, like I just feel like that's just such a and they're doing it as an actual PLE. Halloween Havoc is a Sunday PLE. I feel like they would be great there in some capacity, some way, shape, or form. Unannounced would be even better. Just
a feud against All Ego would be perfect.
Oh my God, dude. That would be so because Bo Dallas, former NXT champion. Like one of the longest reigning NXT champions of all time. There is history there. Every single one of those guys has ties to NXT. Nikki Cross, of course, we have the OG Wyatts that were NXT tag champions. We have Dexter Lumis, the famous NXT wedding that actually didn't end in a brawl. And of course, we have Joe Gacy, one of the better talents to come out of NXT in a while. Like there's a lot of ties there.
I would love it. And I feel like NXT productions are more like guerrilla style. Like they'll throw anything at it. And if it sticks, I mean, I could imagine them with Shawn Michaels and Shawn Michaels going back into his acting bag, you know, to determine how everything's spooky. Oh, I would love it, man. I think that's what the Wyatt 6 kind of needs. Because right now there's no space for them right now on the main roster in terms of storyline.
There's going to be less when they go to 2 hours.
Yeah, but it's like, where do you want them to insert themselves to stop the momentum? Because they stopped the momentum of Chad Gable. They really did. Mm-hmm. He was cooking. He was doing some great things with Otis. I don't want them to go after Braun Strowman and stop that momentum. I don't want them to go after Jey Uso and stop that momentum either. So there's so many things that I feel that are on the line for the Wyatt 6, and why not a great way to make a pit stop to NXT? I love it.
Yeah, and it's what they did with Becky Lynch at around this time 2 years ago now. Wow, was it? No, last year. Yeah, it was last year, where they'd had nothing for Becky Lynch, but there were clearly bigger plans that just made more sense later on. And I'm going to tell you what those bigger plans are for the Wyatt 6. It's Dominic Mysterio. That is the Wyatt WrestleMania feud. Dominic Mysterio. It is. That's the Wyatt's WrestleMania. That is the best person they can go after. Do not use it yet.
Hear me out. This is what happens. Bad blood. Poor little Dom. The match happens and Dom's still left up there in the cage.
Oh, that'd be so good. Oh, that would be still stuck up there. Oh, see, I was going to say like, do the Becky Lynch, keep her, how they kept her away from Rhea Ripley, have her do her thing in NXT, and then eventually come back up to build to that closer to like WrestleMania season. I was going to say keep the Wyatt 6 away from Dominic Mysterio until they're ready to build up to something at WrestleMania. If it was just a tease, man, oh, dude, that would actually be so good.
And then the lights go down, and then Dom's gone out of the cage.
Wong.
Ooh, imagine the fear you would be, Dom.
Oh, because Dom like does not like spookiness. He actually is. I
think inherently Latinos don't deal with spookiness that well.
Yeah, we're raised with the occult as a as a serious issue.
the supernatural does not bode well for Latinos.
It's true.
It is every like we could deal with like, I don't know, like a variety of different scary genres, but when it comes down to possession, exorcism, we're out.
That's what gets the Latinos. It's true. It's 100% true. 1000% true. I think if you ask most Latinos what they feel like the scariest movie of all time is, it's The Exorcist, because it's got because it involves religion, and there's so much religion in Latin America, so much Catholicism in Latin America, and then you make that into a horror movie, bro. Every Latino is like, "Ay, Dios mío."
The Exorcist of Emily Rose is a solid one. I like that one too.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
yeah. The only Exorcist movies that I've seen is the original and Scary Movie 2.
That's a different kind of possession movie, brother.
Yeah, but it's still The Exorcist.
You ever seen the movie Ghostbusters, the original?
Yes.
Okay, there's a scene where ghosts come at them in their sleep, just like in Scary Movie 2. And it's like, why is this in the Ghostbusters? It's not a movie for kids, but why is this in this movie? Kind of weird.
Spooky.
And then they say busting feels good.
Oh.
In the song.
Tell them when they're telling lies.
Oh my goodness.
When I look at Wyatt 6 and I look at Next Step, I literally am only coming to Dominic Mysterio. Hey, yo, someone's going to clip that. The only destination. Oh, no. I have made an egregious major lapse in my judgment. I do not expect to be forgiven. I only expect for you to allow me to grow from this mistake. The only end goal I see is Dominic Mysterio. That's the only thing that I see for the Wyatt 6. Do you see anything else aside from Dominic?
In terms of where the Wyatt thing is coming to?
Yeah.
I have no idea. No.
That's the only thing I can think of. And I also think that that's too good to not be a WrestleMania feud.
The fact you said he's like a forbidden fruit that you would take a bite out of it. Where you end up.
Record scratch. So I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Let me take you out to dinner. Hey, yo, bing bong.
That logo fire tease, you didn't think that was Wyatt 6, did you?
No, it's a Viking Raiders, dude. They're coming back as the Viking Raiders.
You think they're coming back as Viking Raiders? Everybody thinks that that's War Raiders.
Even whatever. I mean, whatever they want. They're not the Viking experience. That's for sure.
No, oh God, no. Well, that's been dead for a while, but I think I could see them dropping the Viking gimmick from this.
Really?
Yeah.
And being bikers?
Sure. Like when they were War Raiders, like there was nothing for PLEs, like the NXT takeovers, the War Raiders sometimes came out with like these badass helmets and stuff, but it was more like, it felt more LOD than it did cosplaying as something. You know what I mean?
Legion of Doom with the shoulder pads.
It felt more like that than it did like cosplaying as a particular type of mythical medieval character or whatever. I think that they could go back to that. They were already kind of exploring that with Ivar in NXT, you know, skinny dad, a skinny jean wearing bike vest, middle-aged, middle life crisis, Ivar dad. I could see them doing that. Or maybe they do what you suggested all those months ago. They just are accountants. They're just dads.
I love it. They're just dads with attitude. I absolutely think it is Ivar, because Ivar did tweet out. He like finally retweeted out the eye emoji, and he's never been really active. And I was like, it's an interesting place to put you. And they've been on the show. Well, they've been out for an injury for a long time.
Eric is north of a year now.
Yeah, I think they're definitely it's time for them to come back, and I think what a best time to come back to help out with that tag team division. I did joke about TwitchCon, Lucha Brothers, but I see what they're gonna do. Finn, JD are gonna be like, no one here in this roster could beat us. We're the absolute best, and then Lucha
Cero
Bros
miedo.
And thank God Death Rebel's on the way out. Because, I mean, granted, that's a really good tag to start off your song. But I think they're going to come out and then they're just going to defeat Finn and they're going to beat JD and they're going to be the ones that are holding the belts. And they're just going to put on really good matches their entire run as a tag team champion. And they're going to be so good. Oh, man. What a steal. Someone pointed out to me, and I forgot who it was, so forgive me. They were like, I'll take that trade. I think it was Mega Ran, maybe. He was like, I'll take that trade anytime. Ricochet for Lucha Brothers. Easy trade. And Machine Gun.
They fill
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, but that's not a trade. They just beat them to the punch in free agency.
Sure.
But it's true because Ricochet and Lucha Brothers, they fill the same void of like awesome match of the night. It's just that awesome match of the night right now is more needed in the tag team division than it is in the singles world. So there's a lot more, and I feel like everyone wins in that swap, honestly.
It's like one of those trades that the computer approves of.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not an unfair trade.
It's
I always hate that when you
I was going to say, it's a fantasy football trade that not everyone vetoes. No, I will not trade you Christian McCaffrey for Brett Favre, who's been retired for 7 years.
For a kicker.
Yeah.
There's so many good things from that, and I'm very excited for it. But yeah, I think this is the return of the Vikings, and Ivar was putting on banger matches before he got hurt, and he was a Bronson Reed type attraction. He had the Doom Salt, and it was very powerful, like a tsunami.
I like the Doom Salt. He always missed it every time.
That's when you know who he's gonna lose, when he misses it. And when he hit it, that was gonna win. But I just hope that Ivar. We'll see if they. It kind of reminds me of the male models. They were talking about so much of how they didn't enjoy that gimmick, but yet that's what they do. It's like
they're so good at it.
I know they're really good at it. And I'm sure they really thought about, what do we do? Do we stick with this gimmick that we're known for at the WWE, or do we mix it up? More quickly, it's a quick aside. The Outrunners are my jam. I love the Outrunners. So good. Have you seen their video vignettes of them at the gym?
They're incredible.
And their whole meme is that they've been around forever. Like, they were at the start, and people are putting them in pictures of old, like, Bret Hart and all these awesome stuff, dude. They're so good, man, and they're just, the attitude is so refreshing because AEW does feel like it has a certain style, and then you see these old school 80s type of golden era wrestlers, and it's just clicking with everybody. And I just hope their momentum stays strong for them, because it could easily go south for them, but they're amazing. They're awesome.
Yeah, I think things are just kind of clicking across the board for wrestling companies in general.
Yeah,
one of the questions that we were talking about in the panel is, what has caused the rise of professional wrestling in the 2020s? And something that none of us mentioned was just competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the existence of AEW as a healthy alternative, the fact that TNA is under competent ownership, New Japan becoming popular on this side of the world with fans, and then the independent circuit across pretty much the entire world right now being as vibrant as it is. Heck, we're seeing that Mexico is still a massive market with AAA and Triple Mania. So it's all of these alternatives outside of the WWE is just what's making is a huge contributor to the rise of and mania of pro wrestling in the 2020s. It's not just a WWE thing. Even if WWE is at its best right now, it's so much more than just WWE.
When AEW showed up, they had to make changes. You had to make changes. You were losing. You lost Daniel Bryan, dude.
You lost the Wednesday Night Wars. NXT versus AEW. Like, NXT was still a much bigger known brand than AEW. And maybe those WWE, what E-Fedophiles, what are they called? The Fedophiles. The E-Fedophiles. They'll tell you, but it's just WWE's developmental. That was a monumental brand, NXT, a brand that was considered by many the best professional wrestling brand of the 2010s. It lost to upstart AEW. That was a huge, huge blow. I don't care if you don't think that it was. I promise you that was a huge way for AEW to cement itself as a great alternative to WWE, because you know what was the alternative to WWE? It was NXT, and it supplanted it.
Exactly. And it made Vince panic and pull the plug on NXT. And it wasn't the same. The 2.0 was that let's figure it out type of vibe.
It was a necessary change.
Yeah.
It was a necessary change. I could talk about that all day, but yeah, it was one of those where like you had to take the stallion, the horse that's been winning all of our races, broke his leg. We gotta take him out back.
Did you what's the guy Tony in NXT? The mafia
Tony
guy.
D'Angelo.
Okay. Did you notice that his lines were from Rocky 3?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good, dude. I'm scared.
Yeah, man. Tony D'Angelo and the family, like that. There's just so much working across the board, not just WWE main roster. Obviously, that's what we talk about for many reasons. It's what we love, right? It's what we connect with the most, and it's what you guys like to listen about. Like we also want to reach as many people as possible, and WWE is the best way to do that. But there's just so much good shit going on in wrestling, man.
There's a lot of good wrestling. I have a question for you.
Yes.
In the current landscape of WWE, does Enzo Amore make his way back alongside with Big Cass?
No, I don't think so.
It's dead and gone.
Forever? I think it is dead and gone. I think it was a thing that it was a little flame that you needed to fan into a massive giant blaze, and they had it, and then they let it die out, and I just don't think you can fan it again. It was a one-time thing that you could have turned into a Dudley Boys style long run forever tag team, but then they separated them. Enzo Amore got himself, I think he got fired. Big Cass went somewhere else. And it just, if you were to try to do it again, it's not the same flame and spark.
Okay. On that same page, does Rusev Miro make his way back to the WWE, considering he asked for his release?
I think that's the play. I think that he's seeing how they're treating the Rusevs of the world, right? Like how they're treating the Braun Strowmans, the Braun Breaker to a degree, like those big guys that are known for his physicality. I think he's looking at how that's being treated and being booked in WWE, and how could you not want to go there as a Rusev Miro type character? He is the epitome of wrong place, wrong time. Right guy, wrong time. Rusev was awesome, but it was just not the era for the Rusev types. Now, it absolutely is.
Does he stay as Miro or Rusev? He has to be Rusev, right?
It would be Rusev. Like, Rusev is still a far more recognizable name than Miro. It is.
Right.
So why would I was
acting like it's not like a Sean Spears situation.
No, yeah.
Right?
Like Sean Spears, I totally get why you might think that could be the case, but like Sean Spears, he was like an OG AEW guy. Like the Ty Dillinger character didn't explode on the main roster. It wasn't really all that well known. So you could make that soft reset of his WWE existence by just making him be the guy that he was recognized as. More frankly, like Sean Spears was bigger than Ty Dillinger.
If Miro or Rusev came back, where does he go? Where does he get booked to? Who's his first feud? I want you to book me Rusev's first 6 months in WWE, because you're such a savant.
Yeah, you're gonna. I'm sorry, but I think Rusev and Sami Zayn could be fantastic. Okay. I know that it will end in the traditional Sami Zayn way of Sami Zayn, overcoming the odds. But Sami Zayn is also really good at making these monsters feel like not just like difficult opponents, but mountains that are worth trying to train to climb.
Okay.
I want Rusev to feel like a mountain to climb, not just another body there, not just somebody else. And Sami Zayn, for as much as people get tired of him, I don't. As much as people get tired of him, he's really good at making these insurmountable opponents feel insurmountable. He's really, really good at that.
I see what you're saying. He plays the underdog role so well. So
Yes.
he goes through Sammy, but what's the road to path? What's the first title he gets as a return? Does he even get gold within his first year?
I don't think so. I don't think that he needs to get gold within his first year, unless you wanted to go down to NXT and have him kind of just do a soft reset of everything. Because I do think that the NXT main event scene, still needs a lot of work, especially on the men's side. If Rusev were to go there as a main eventer, as somebody that isn't just the silent brute anymore, because that's what he was in NXT, right? He never cut promos, he never said anything. But we know that he can be a great storyteller. We know that he can cut good promos. Now just bring the AEW Miro as Rusev to NXT could be pretty awesome.
So he gets a soft reboot at NXT, and that'd be wow. All Ego versus Rusev would be insane.
I mean, I'm thinking also like Rusev versus Trick Williams would be a pretty awesome program as well. I'm thinking like, if you want a believable person with credibility, with notoriety as somebody that has already been to the dance at, places like WrestleMania, basically what I'm saying is somebody believable to dethrone Obafemi, because right now nobody is.
Oh,
it could be Rusev. And that way you can move Obafemi either right to the main event scene of NXT or to the main roster without losing to the plucky underdog, just somebody else that's also a recognizable badass.
And that'd be like the CW's run of NXT right there. That'd be a great start.
Yeah.
That'd be great because like right now they're going to use CM Punk. They're going to use Randy Orton, right, to boost that. But I think Rusev would be a great recognizable name to be able to hold down the fort for a little bit, at least to get people excited about having the CW return.
Totally. And give me Ricky Starks in there.
Rusev Day.
Rusev Putria. Rusev Machka. So good. Tank at WrestleMania 31, bro.
Tank with the Tank,
bro.
There's only one reason why you like the Tank. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
As we're winding down here, and I know people they love us so much. They want a 5-hour pod, brother. They want us to take them all the way when they start their work day. They want us to take them all the way, that home stretch. When you're working a 9 to 5 after lunch, boom, you put on something and it just takes you all the way to the end of your work day.
Dude, I've had people be like, only 2 hours. It's like, what? The show started at 60 minutes.
They want it. They want more of us. Well, you get more of us at Patreon because every day we upload exclusive content. And hey, you can even watch the Royal Rumble review. Those are an hour plus. And why not? You get to watch Royal Rumble with me. And I'm a pleasant guy. All right. Santi brings out the worst in me. Mr. Unwatchable. Dude, I need to make a t-shirt of that. It's such a good t-shirt idea. I want to ask you a question because quickly we need to talk about the women's division a little bit more. I know you always like to rag on me about PFC, but Damage Control, I feel sneaky. They became a face tag team. They had a couple of things where they help out indirectly help out Lyra Valkyria and things like that. But Damage Control versus Jade and Bianca, do you see Damage Control beating them? I mean, they already gave us a hint that, and it kind of led us on that Io Sky is more technical than Bianca Belair. That's why she beat her. But does Damage Control beat Jade and Bianca? That'd be interesting.
I think they're the most realistic tag team to do so, especially because they could actually be the tag team to trigger the eventual turn of Bianca and Jade Cargill. Whether it could be miscommunication, maybe Jade or Bianca gets too friendly with the members of Damage Control, because you can use the history that Bianca has with Damage Control as a group of women that literally made her life hell for like a year and a half.
That's
right?
true.
So
she was very buddy with him.
Yeah. So you have potentially the catalyst to trigger the end game that we're all looking forward to between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Not only do you have the right catalyst to create the end game between those two, you have Kyrie and Io, who could be great women's champions in their own right. because they're just fantastic. So this could be a situation where you can get the titles off of Jade and Bianca to a credible tag team that could be really, really good in their own right to build a tag team division around, while also giving us the second bird killed with said stone of the triggering of, I do declare, Bianca and Jade.
Two
Said
birds
stone.
with one stone. That is so graphic. I think what's very underappreciated though is I'm thinking that WWE is trying to make this breakup between Jay and Bianca last a little longer because it doesn't want to step on the toes of New Day. Because we're already seeing New Day going through a breakup like that. We don't want to have another seemingly breakup that's going to happen over miscommunications. It's the same story, but it's not the same story because of the longevity of the New Day. I just think we need to see these Jade and Bianca's egos kind of ratchet up a notch so that you could have this clash of the mega powers. I feel like we talked about it last week that they are a mega power but I haven't seen the ego reach to that point of a Hulkster and Macho Man, because that's what made the mega powers so unique is you have the biggest egos on the main roster in that time teaming up, and then it's just such the chemistry of it or the components of it just created this unsafe environment, and then finally it just exploded. And I'm not getting that yet for Bianca and Jade. And I think that's where you said they're going to go. But I would like to see more of that. Maybe Jade and Bianca disagree with some time of manner, but I don't know. It has to be different than Xavier and Kofi.
I do. I agree with what you're saying. I'll go back to what I was saying earlier, is that I think Io and Kairi could be the catalyst to create that, what you're saying.
But is it going to be like a Grayson Waller and Austin Theory where they just accidentally hit each other? And
no, it could be like maybe Bianca walks in on Jade Cargill, maybe like shaking hands with Io Sky. And Bianca could be like, what the? Like, well, no, Jade, they're cool now. What are you doing? Like, these people, they like ruined my life. They put me on the shelf for months. They took my title off of me. She cashed in Money in the Bank on me. Like, you can't be shaking hands or being buddies or even so much as sharing a positive glance with Io or Kairi. That could be the catalyst to it. But you're right. It can't just be like, oh, I accidentally ran into the turnbuckle because of miscommunication. I don't think that would trigger a monumental moment like this. I feel like it needs to be. This is where Triple H is actually really good at this, right? Like the slow ramp up, the slow build up until it actually implodes.
Yeah. And I think it's more so that Jade needs to meet Bianca. It's not a Bianca thing. It's a Jade thing, in my mind.
You think so?
Yeah, because Bianca's already there. We know that Bianca could be that star caliber, carry the torch type vibe. It's the question we've been asking is, when can Jade do that? Is Jade capable of doing that? We know she's getting better in the ring, but okay, funny story here. Quick aside, we're at TwitchCon. Me, Wheezy, Conman, Santi, we're all having a good time at the partner party. A guy comes up to us, I don't know this individual at all, but he goes, tell me why you like wrestling, because it's so fake. And he literally starts off the conversation like this. It's not a build-up. He asks us, what do we do? And we're like, oh, we react to pro wrestling. We watch wrestling content. And immediately, tell me why you like this fake wrestling stuff. That's not the part of the conversation, but it's just, I don't know what I was going for. I'm really distracted. It was very interesting how Wheezy handled it. Wheezy handled it like a pro, and you came in with the Captain America thing. Tell the people more about this while I'm trying to remember what point I was trying to make about Jay and Bianca.
Yeah, so this gentleman comes up to us, tells us, not in a inquisitive way, like, hey, convince me why maybe I should give wrestling a chance. Because you could tell when somebody asks you, that
he wasn't jovial.
No, there was no curiosity. It was a question to put us down. It really was. The way that he worded it, the way that he said it, it was to ridicule us for watching professional wrestling. And of course, he said it to the four people that have made this their livelihood, but also deal with that type of negativity and that type of question on a pretty regular basis.
Right.
And I just think it's funny that this guy had the nerve and the gall to talk about professional wrestling being fake when you're a World of Warcraft streamer, bud. All right. You cosplay online as a undead rogue rolling around the lands of whatever the hell the World of Warcraft world is called. All right. I'm not roasting World of Warcraft, but if you're gonna sit here and at a professional gathering and try and make fun of me for watching professional wrestling, don't be living in a glass house if you're gonna toss stones. All right. Go ride your fake little dragon pony, and go do your little side quests. You undead rogue monk, whatever character it is that you're playing in World of Warcraft, paying $10 a month to cosplay virtually. Bum ass World of Warcraft, lame ass World of Warcraft, trying to make fun of wrestling.
I completely forgot my point. I just wanted to serve you up that dish. No, man, I just feel like Jade and Bianca, they just have to rise up. Jade has to step up to that level, because if it's not there, then I think the lead up to Mania is not going to be genuine. It's not going to be at a fever pitch. It'd be like, all right, it could be like that kind of thing. Like Triple H knows we want Jade and Bianca. It's not ready yet, but how long can you wait for it?
Yeah. How long can you wait to see Gio win? Giovanni Vinci continues to take another ridiculous loss. Less ridiculous this time. There was a match a little bit. Then there was a crucifix. But then at the end, there was a beatdown of Apollo Crews, who once again beat Giovanni Vinci. Do you like this?
I like everything about Gio. I just don't like Apollo Crews in the mix. It just doesn't. It's not someone that it's a good launch pad. It's not a good springboard. It's not a good, like, ooh, you got one over Apollo because it's just Apollo. Now, if it was Baron Corbin, that'd be different.
That's what I would. Well, what if it builds to Baron Corbin? What if Baron Corbin is kind of like the first?
In?
Yeah, it's kind of like the once okay, I figured out Apollo Crews. I'm going way too overboard. I'm beating him down too much, and then Baron Corbin comes in. Interesting.
Yeah.
More so.
They'll kick it up a notch, because I think Baron Corbin is still very underutilized in the main roster.
Agreed.
I think he's waiting for his opportunity to do some great things, and I think Gio could work. Gio is awesome. Dude, that moveset he was doing where he's literally just throwing Apollo into the ropes. I've never seen anybody like that, and that looks like. And I heard bad stories about the ropes catching you and biting you, and I was like, man, Apollo Crews' leg could accidentally be bad here. But I like Gio, and I like that he was like, yeah, you may have won the battle, but I'm winning the war because I beat you up afterwards. But still, dude, you got to give that guy a win soon.
Yeah,
you got to give him a job. Maybe you could give him a jobber that he eats up, because I just want to see his finisher.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like Kurt Hawkins, where he goes on a 200 match losing streak.
I hope not.
Yeah,
but it would be a great commentary on this idea of this very masculine guy with the hot girl with the cars and everything, and he's just a loser.
He just sucks.
Yeah, like, it's an interesting commentary. It's a social commentary that I think WWE has stepped away from social commentary and political commentary, and they're just more in-house storylines. But that'd be an interesting kind of thing if you want to kind of comment on that lifestyle. I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that is because Gio presented himself in this manner.
Right.
When he has the buildings, has the lavish lifestyle, and he's just not winning in life still.
Yeah, but like
you could have it all.
But like Jey Uso, us expecting him to lose or to get interfered, they're subverting expectations, man. They're making you think one thing and delivering another. They made you think that this guy was going to be
a razor.
He was going to destroy everybody. He was going to come in and maybe like not the same type of character, but also like, but I do think that there are similarities between Gio Vinci's vignettes and how Carlito was initially introduced into the WWE, with his vignettes at the market and eating apples and spinning people, to come in and then actually win titles. That's what I was expecting out of Gio, and we got the complete opposite, which makes me interested. I just don't know if I like it or not. That's the thing. I'm not ready to make that call.
I feel like Giovanni needs a submission finisher. It's been a while since we got a wrestler with a good heel-like submission finisher.
No, you don't like Gunther's infinite sleeper hold?
That's different, because he has like 5 different finishers.
That's true.
I'm just talking about like an ankle lock, like that kind of Chad Gable.
Yeah,
like
they just never win, man. Cena killed submissions. Cena killed submissions. He did.
This is me as John Cena.
What?
That's how he holds the head. This is the
head.
head.
His stupid ass STF. Anyways,
I like how you start shutting down when I make fun of John Cena.
yeah, I'm not
Because
here
then
for
you have
this.
to then you have to realize that I'm right. You know,
You're wrong.
Like, yeah, you're right. But like, there's nothing I can do. I cannot break your John Cena love. There's nothing I can do. Nothing I could say. I could do no wrong.
You could start off with the new heat order here.
Oh,
that's what you could do.
New heat order. Quick question.
Yes, sir.
My favorite thing to do before new heat order. When does Logan Paul come back?
I think it's in the build up to Crown Jewel.
That's his mania, right?
Yeah, they love him at Crown Jewel. They love him at the Saudi shows. They brought him back for the last Saudi show, King of the Ring. They've had him there for Crown Jewel. Like it'll be for the Saudi show.
All right, folks. This is the New Heat Order. If you're new to the show, this is the show that we ranked all the wrestlers in the superstar world of the WWE. Who has the buzz? Who has the pizzazz? Who gets us excited to tune in next week to say, hey, this guy or gal is a cooking. One of my favorite lines I had in Twitch Rivals was, if you're on fire, don't turn off the stove. Keep on cooking.
Unless you're actually on fire. Well, then please turn it off and call the local firefighters. He
was shooting basketballs, okay? It's a contact. He was shooting basketballs. He was on fire. It's a good line.
You're dying, follow the light.
Just go to the other side, brother. All right, here we go. This is last week's going into the shenanigans before TwitchCon. Again, thank you for the support. Shout out to iSnatch and shout out to Shifu for showing up and giving us love. And shout out to the Shifu's lady for those stickers.
Yeah, the stickers were great.
Yeah, the stickers were great. Thank you. Here's our list. Number 10, CM Punk. Number 9, Judgment Day. Number 8, Jey Uso. Number 7, Ricky. Number 6, Braun Strowman. Number 5, Bronson Reed. Number 4, Jacob Fatu. Number 3, Solo. Number 2, Roman Reigns. And number 1. So what do you want to talk about? Cody Rhodes.
Want to just get one out of the way?
Yeah, sure. Jey Uso.
Jey Uso. It's Jey Uso. Frankly, I would dare say Jey Roman Cody.
Jey Uso 1 through 10. He is the number one.
Well, you could do that. Yes,
you could do that. But there's some guy or a gal out there is like, I order traditionalists. There needs to be a list.
I want my traditional new heat order. I don't like this new heat order.
So you said Roman or Cody? I think
Roman first. Right?
He
was way better. Yeah. He was way better.
He was. Yes, he was. He was. You're in my way. In life. Stop. So Cody at 3?
I would have Cody at 3. Yeah, that whole segment. Come on, I know you didn't exactly love Cody as much as Roman in there, but
I know you're such a Cody hater. So okay. Did you like how I asked Mega Ran, who's good friends with Xavier Woods?
Yeah, you threw me under the bus.
I got you so good.
No, you threw me under the bus. It
was worth it. It was worth it.
What about Xavier Woods at 4?
Now
I'm allowed on the train?
Hell no.
What?
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 Nani? That's exactly what you said.
God, I hate you so much.
You were like, oh, I'm not allowed? Oh.
Nani? I can't believe you just pulled out a nani at the end of the show.
That's what you sounded like, though. All right. Kofi or just Xavier? I think it's just Xavier.
I think right now it's just Xavier.
Because he is like, dude, that
He's
match
carrying
against
this.
Ray versus Xavier is going to be good.
That's going to be great. That's going to be great.
Because you're going to see some like strongman stuff from Xavier that he normally doesn't do. Let's see. Bronson Reed at 5 or Dom? Dom in the lower was 6.
What about like LA Knight defending?
You see, when you were gone dealing with Dwayne, the Wiener Dog Johnson, I do feel that LA Knight did not have the best performance.
The handshake was so awkward.
It was, in my mind, I think he wanted the fist bump, and I think Andrade felt that was too low class of show of respect. So I think there is some real beef there that's brewing. And I don't like that because it shouldn't be that way for. And I feel like LA Knight, you ever like take things personal when it wasn't that? It's like, bro, it wasn't that deep. Why are you taking it personal? And I think LA Knight probably took that personal. Anyway, I'm not feeling. I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
The Glaze Factory did not have a good day this week.
Yeah, there was a slight hiccup. There was a slight malfunction.
Hiccup, a slight it wasn't as pure. It was a little crusty.
Yeah, we had some lower grade glaze than we would have liked.
We had to shut down one of the things because it was a little tainted. It
was a bad batch.
Bad batch. Yes, it was bad batch. We apologize to the people who are big fans of the Glaze Factory here. Dog, that would be a cool shirt, but I would never wear it in pro.
Oh God, you could not wear it. There'd be so much white on it.
I hate you. Why do you take it there? It's like I just want to do like an industrial shirt that says the Glaze Factory.
No, man, you'd have to have a bunch of splooshes.
Oh God, that's the back of the shirt, which is even worse. It's always wrestling shirts. The back is the worst.
We know that. It is.
We know that.
And the front will be a nice little logo in the back. Yeah. I hate humanity and I want to kill you all. It's basically the back of every wrestling shirt.
Whoa. That's why you got to wear like a jacket over it, just to feel like you're one. Okay. Okay. We have on the list Solo, Jacob Fatu, Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, Judgment Day, and CM Punk. I don't think I like again. CM Punk had that great promo saying I'm the devil. If you're gonna have to kill me, but that
Kevin
was last
Owens.
Week.
Kevin Owens, right? Like we've got this will he, won't he thing that's going on here.
I like that. And it's interesting as well as to step away from wrestling. His contract's up, so a lot of questions.
And he didn't get to tell us what he thought about it.
He didn't get to tell us.
Yeah, he just hung up behind Cody with that chair so menacingly.
I think I kind of want to put Braun Breaker at 6.
I can vibe with that. Yeah. It was a great match. Man, the way he sold that super kick when he was going for the spear through the barricade, so good.
So good. You know what I hate? That Braun Breaker doesn't have an A in Breaker. It's not break. It's Brekker, right?
No.
Okay, we should have a spelling bee. We have a spelling.
It does have an A. BRA.
Oh, Braun Breaker.
Yeah, you're thinking. I think you were thinking it was Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. Australian. You know what they say for breakfast? You want to have a little brekkie?
Oh, I say that.
Little brekkie. You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
brekkie.
All right, number 7. We could put Dom here. We could put Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. You want to put them together?
I'm down.
Put them together?
That's cheating to put them together.
Okay, then who? I still think I'm more of a Bronson guy.
Me too.
Okay.
Bronson, Braun, but like you can't just give them one spot. That's cheating.
I know we cheat every now and again,
but like we do when it's a tag team, like Terror Twins.
That's
but we don't.
True.
These guys are against each other.
All right, Bronson Reed. And I misspell Braun Strowman a lot, and I hate that. Did you know there's a W in Braun Strowman?
Bro, I get it right like half the time. Sometimes I'm like, there's no W this time. I think they recently added a W.
Get out of here, W. You don't belong here.
It doesn't.
Strowman. Doesn't belong. It's just Braun Strowman. Number 9.
What's the deal with the W?
Can I put Tama Tonga here at 9? I kind of want to put him at 10 because his yeah. Oh, here we go. He's gonna burn himself out again. He's choking his little Cena.
Yeah. From orders from the tribal chief. If you ain't bloodline, you ain't nobody. Yeah.
You're choking your little Cena again. There he goes.
That sounds wrong. Choking my little Cena.
10. Yeah.
It's a moderately sized Cena.
Okay. Performs well under pressure.
It's a 16 time.
Tama.
Yeah, you know what? I felt like that was a breakout week for Tama.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He came out with the promo, controlled the crowd, cut a great promo against Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens with a great reply, like, you know what? I know how this goes. Let's just fight. And that was a great little thing. All right, Tama. Tonga. All right. Who's going to be our 9th spot then?
I thought
Here's
that
the list.
was it.
People, no, I put him at 10.
Oh, you put Tama at 10.
Yeah. There it is. This is last week, by the way, over here. And this is the
right.
current list. We have Judgment Day, CM Punk, and Jacob Fatu solo that are not on that list. We have Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Xavier Woods, Kevin Owens, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman. Number 9 is left open. We could put Rhea here.
I put Dom more. I was more interested in Dom that episode. The Forbidden Fruit.
Wyatt 6 didn't really do anything.
American Made.
That
might be it.
Maybe. Is Brutus going?
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah, let's put American Made. Let's not think about it too much.
Okay.
I think that's the right answer.
Yeah. Dude, they have the American Gladiator outfits.
They did.
The reject American Gladiator.
I like that. So that oh my God, what's her name? The Pitbull Ivy Nile has like the American red, white, and blue in her hair.
Yeah. There you go. There's
have we lost that much budget that we have to use the same page?
I don't look, dude. I'm thinking of the future.
What happened to our budget?
These graphics are expensive.
Sancho's embezzling money out of the new Heat order budget.
It's like I bought 2 ply and I sort of separated them like in the office. Number 10, Tama Tonga. Number 9, American Made. Number 8, Braun Strowman. Number 7, Bronson Reed. Number 6, Braun Breaker. Number 5, Kevin Owens. Number 4, Xavier Woods. Number 3, Cody Rhodes. Number 2, Roman Reigns. And number 1, Jey Uso. So
how was the stream without me? Did you see a nice spike?
A
bunch of my people go to your place?
200 people came by, man.
Hell yeah.
It was crazy. I started off with like 50, which is huge because I normally have 12. And, we had a lot of great vibes. And I feed off of energy from the chat. And, if it's the chat is chill, I'm more chill. But the chat was vibing and we kept going. And then I never look at my numbers until after stream. And then after when I was done and I was about to sign off, I saw we had 200 people.
That's awesome. Well, Sancho,
dude,
you can
crazy, dude. Are you still there?
Yeah, okay, I am still here. We're having some technical issues, so I think this is a good place for me to end the show. So what we'll do is we'll read out the Patreon names here. So thank you to everybody that's been supporting us here as Sancho is pixelated. Of course, you could support us over on Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap, where you could get the podcast 3 days early. You get the Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, the Royal Rumble in reviews that we're doing as well. And of course, you can support us be able to do this on a more regular basis. Thank you to our $15 patrons who are our producers of the show and get their names read out. So thank you to Santi is Daddy, FU, I'm First Now, Nick Harvey, 2022 Benjamin, Aaron Garcia, AC Big Mac, Adam McLeod, Adrian Liu, Aiden, Akira Kemp, Alex Rigel. It seems like I have Sancho back. Hello, Sancho.
I'm back. Hi. Every time I try to put myself over, the world says no.
It's like, you suck.
I am unwatchable.
Your ass.
As I was plugging the Twitch.tv session. But thank you all so much if you did come by. It was really cool to have 200 people, especially coming off of TwitchCon. I love it. One quickly, I know we're reading names, but in this world of content creation, there are often times where you're just running around in the dark. You have no idea what you're doing. You don't know if you're doing something right or wrong. And all of a sudden, you get a moment, a little light. Go towards the light, brother. To the other side.
Alan Crockett.
That's where we see
God damn
other
it.
side.
Anita Maxwin, Asher McYoda, Asperlitz, Ozzy Kingslayer, Austin Weaver, Author Ellen Wittenhagen, B Nation Betancourt, Bard Rushton, Bailey Saunders, Ben Calloway, Ben Davis, Barry, B Hostile, Big Papi Sasquatch, BK Sochil, Blake Kimball, Blake, Brady Keaton, Brandon Cannell, Brandon Shire, Brian Diardis, Bryce Burt, Buxo, Caleb Lee, Callsign Caveman, Callum Wood, Cameron Noel, Carlos Gonzalez, Carter, CB, Chew Poppy, Chris Hansen says, stop oiling up Santi, Christian Billick, Christian Ormsby, CM Puff, Colby Johns, Colin Roach, Connor Williamson, Crunchy Tomato, Danny the Chant GF, Dar, Dirty Dom, DJ Broadnax, DJ S8715, Drew Ashford, Dumsky, Dylan Canna, Eric, quote, Theory Gonzalez, Ethan Latch, Isatch, the Chargers L didn't count, Herbert died. Facts. Fish Reel, Fletcher Walpole, Forever Wrestling, Franklin Everett, free New Day train ticket for Santi. Yes, I found the golden ticket. Yeah, no. You can't be the only one that gives train tickets. The passengers should be.
No.
This is a
no. Who gave you that ticket?
You're gonna hit me with it doesn't matter who gave me that ticket.
No, seriously, who gave that ticket?
Dallas.
Banned. You're banned as well. Get off the train.
I feel like this ticket is not void. This ticket is good.
It is voided. You like, yeah, I have a face scanner, and it's like, that's him. Get out.
My face is like on your wall of people who aren't allowed, like in the office when Michael tries to dine and dash. Anyways,
I see you, dude. You're trying to get in. Remember when he got fired and he's trying to get the paperwork? That's you trying to get on the train.
Gamerscape, Garrett Coons, George Valdez, Garrett Deeds, Goated Sean, GXA Man, Harley McClure, Hassan Aziz, Hayden Thornton, Heartfelt, Hey Sver Helderson, I am in love with Sancho, Issa David, it's Mista, I'm gonna nut in Santi's protein shake, Jack, Jacob Kitchener, Jacob Marcel, Jacob Pena, Jacob Saffel, James Abel, James Brian Belogo, James Jeffers, Jassim Alcazar, Javier Arenas, Javier Rodriguez, Jalen Steele, Gene, Jennifer Johnson, Jennifer C. Moreau, Jesse, Joe Velez, Page 3, Jonah, Jonathan Daly, Jordan Lynch, Jordan Caballero, Juan Verduzco, Judson Daniels, Justin Perkins, Caden Rivers, Kentarius Jackson, Kian Dean, Kasu, Cobb's World, Kuwaiti Rick Boogs, Kyrie Lawrence, Lil Shifu, the homie, Mako Mac Gaming, Malik Graham, Manly Man, Manu, Manuel Marufo, Marcos Gonzalez, Marnie YCSM, Mason Kirk, Mason Lott, Matthew Dollar, Michael Dean, Michael Glass, Michael Walter, Mohammed Aram Al-Madawi, Mohammed Al-Banai, a homie in my stream, Monte Moore, Mountain Paws, Mubashir Khan, Neb, Nellen Zach, Nicholas Kyle, Nighthawk, Papaya King, Patrick Rapaldi, Peach Mania, SmackDown has always been the A show. Okay. Phoenix, Prince Vegeta, Reaper God, Reese Dowd, Ricky Dutcher, Roberto Dickbutt, Rocky, Rodolfo Reyes, Rose Levy, Ryan Fear, page 4. Ryan Williams, Riley, Sancho, Sancho come maíz a lo largo. I know you're a no sabo. That means Sancho eats corn the long way. Santi zaps stinky toes. Saudi. So, is that what you said?
Yeah.
It's efficient.
There's nothing you can say to me. I'm dead inside. There's a husk of a man.
Saudi Rick Boogs, Scream Scott, Seth, Shane, Shawn Michaels, Right Nostril, Sherry, Silver Football, Solo So Fat, we should call him a duo, Spencer Schnartz, Squishy, Stephen Rhodes, Stephen Amay, Stucky, Sugar Shane, Sullivan Mayer, Super Malachi Galaxy, Tanisha Jones, The Gaming Freak YouTube, the thought of Santi's oiled up toes in my pre-workout, the B-Meister, the Joe Man, I'm walking here, the McBro, Tim, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, Train Ahead, Trexor Gaming, Two Crown, Tyler Sharp, Wesley Simpson, Whip One, Will Templeton, Zan Frank, Javier Izquierdo, Yao Parda, you know what? Sancho, Bronson Reed should oil up, Zerg Zito, Lord BB&J, Aaron Fullerin Jackson. Oh no, Aaron Fullerin Jackson is not one of them. He's an $8 guy. I take that back. You don't get to be in this video, Aaron. I overshot. It ends with Lord BB&J. We're good.
The homie as well. Always in the comments.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much to everybody for watching this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you next week. And keep a lookout on the Patreon for all the extra content. Goodbye. Take care.